Orion Little.
Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? It is your boy, MM2K. Your boy, Projekt Storm in the house. We weren't too late, but we were having some technical difficulties behind the scenes, as Storm was indicating. Yo, 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 let us know if you can hear us live and correct. Let us know if you can hear us. Well. Can you hear Storm? You know what I'm saying? Let us know. Hey, Storm, we got Charles in the house. We got the homie Stadia talk in the house. Hashtag Saturdays will never be the same. There we go.
Never be the same, y'all. But yeah, before we get started, we got to get these mics going right. You know what I mean? Because we have a whole lot to say. I don't know if our mics might burn the hell out today. You know
Facts.
So I hope people can hear us.
Facts.
That would be a shame if they couldn't hear all this goodness.
This buttery goodness we about to drop. Hell yeah, man. So, but Storm, what's been going on with you, man? What's been up with you, man? What you been playing and all that good stuff?
A whole lot as usual. You know what I'm saying? Jumped over from Stadia to Xbox over to native PC, a little bit of PS Now. So many games, man, and I'm getting my hands on. Last night I was on that Far Cry 5. Dropped a video running at 120 hertz on Xbox. You know, people, like I always say, I try to do it all. I don't like to be in a bag. You get what I'm saying? Now I might say some things about platforms that I don't agree with, or that I don't like or understand in the moment. But at the end of the day, I'm loving all this greatness out here. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, man, hey, the thing is, there's some great games out right now.
Yep.
There's so many coming. So our backlog is getting bigger and bigger, man. That's something that we'll never be able to minimize. We won't be able to put a dent in that at all, y'all. So we got to just give up. We got to concede to the backlog. It's just not going to happen. But it's good to be able to jump around from place to place, man. I could tell you that right now, MM. But something about Stadia that keeps bringing me home, man. And I'm calling this home. You're like, why are you calling it home? Well, for me, people know this story already, but Stadia kind of saved me, man. To keep it as brief as I can, because I was getting tired of the whole. It was kind of like the repetitious nature of the console generation. You know what I mean? The PC hardware upgrading and all that stuff like that, man. So I was starting to, and then it was all the toxicity out there too.
Yeah.
So for Stadia to come in and kind of like offer this solution, this cloud gaming solution, I've never tried it before. So other than Geforce Now, it just kind of like did something to me, and that's why I think I have this. It's not a soft spot or a sweet spot or anything for Stadia, but I had this appreciation for the platform, Moss, man, to tell you the truth. And I just have to let it out. I do, man. I'm blown away by this. Is the only technology right now that has me blown away. Now I know when the next consoles come, when I see Chase and you and other people playing these Xbox Series X's and S's and PS5s, no matter what edition you have, I think I'm gonna jump right on in. So, like I said, I'm trying to keep this short, man. A lot of you might notice already. Some of you may not, but I just thought it was important to share that, man. But what's going on with you, bro?
No, hey, look, man, I as far as my next-gen gaming preference, and we can talk about that a little bit as we let the room fill up. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that's already watching. Again, we're going to be doing live yappas, live phone calls. Soon we'll let you know. The phone calls aren't live yet, but we'll let you know when they're live and so forth, because this show is definitely about you. We already got the homie Bippity Bop. We already got 3. He got 3. He lied to us, Storm. He said he only had 2. The homie Bippity Bop got 3 yappas out.
Dropped another one, huh?
He dropped another one. You know what I mean?
I told him drop another one. Drop another one if you want to, man.
Me and you talk, Storm, and I'm turning a new leaf, bro. Like, I'm gonna stop kicking Microsoft in the ribs, even though I do like, and we're going to talk about this today, I do like the acquisition of Bethesda. I do think that kind of like gives them the respect that they need to continue to do the things that they're going to do, like some of the biggest issues that people had with their library. That kind of admonished it, not immediately. I think mentally we think it's a modest immediately, but when you look at the catalog, it's not going to have that impact that people are looking for a few years, but that's okay. At least now we know it's coming. At least we ain't got to rely just on the words of Phil Spencer. And that to me, I think is a very good thing. That being said, I'm done with dedicated device gaming, man. I'm done with it. Like, I know I pre-ordered my PlayStation 5. I don't know if that's just going to be a catalyst to me, getting some other things. But I'm done with dedicated device gaming, man. $215 for SSD card to extend my memory. All the friction and all this other stuff, man, I ain't got time for it. I'd rather do it with Stadia, GFN, Luna, whatever's out there. I mean, Stadia is going to be my preferred one as long as they continue what they're doing. And we'll get into that. But like I said, man, I'm kind of done with the whole dedicated device gaming thing, man, for the time being.
Man, that's huge. I never thought I'd hear you say that, man.
Yeah, it's look, man, it's all about innovation to me, and I like what Google's trying to do as far as, like, when you listen to Erin Hoffman-John, man, and just the nerd enthusiasm that she has when she's talking. Like, Google is trying to change the way game development is done. And I think in a lot of these recent 5 minutes of now discussions that we're having, we're losing sight of that. Like, we see these grand announcements from people that got all this flash and pizzazz, and don't get me wrong, they mean something. But right now, when you get past the smoke and mirrors and the honeymoon stage of it, it's a lot of flash and pizzazz marketing wise. When you look at the fruit that's actually there, once you peel back the skin, when you look at what the fruit is right there, you look at the fruit and you're like, well, hold on. This ain't as much as the skin was. You know what I'm saying? This was all skin, a little bit of fruit. And what Google is trying to do long term, if they're successful, will have a bigger impact than anybody right now. Yes, Microsoft has solidified itself, Storm, with licensing. Yes, Amazon is likely going to have a lot of games. But Google is looking to change to uproot the game from the root up. And that's for everywhere, wherever you develop. And if they're successful, that's going to be big. But go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, brother.
Now, I was just thinking about what you're saying, and I was going back to the confusion that I'm having right now as far as, you know what? I've never been so confused with what I want to do. And I think it's just, I don't know if it's just like with everything going on in the pandemic or whatever, man, but I've been so confused at different messages coming from, certain services and platforms and providers and publishers and all that stuff, right? So I don't see, my thing is just trying to have patience with the whole process, like the pre-order thing, shenanigans that happened with PlayStation, Xbox, the RTX cards and all this stuff, man. That's where I am right now, but I'm not going to harp on that. It is what it is. Things will get better and these products will get out there to the gamers. And that's the most important part. But yeah, so it just threw me for a loop because this is the first time. And I think cloud gaming, like I always say, cloud gaming did this to me. Because now I'm all about value proposition, Mm-hmm. And it's, at the same time, now it's crazy because I had to watch what I say so I don't contradict myself, man. But I again, this is the confusion. It just I don't think there's ever been a time where I wanted to go out and get an RTX card or I wanted to go out and get another Stadia Premier Edition or whatever for my household. Or, there's so many things that I just upgraded my TV to the Samsung Q80T, man. Love this display. You know what I mean? I want to do the OLED though. I'm not sold on it 100%. Because the OLED is something that I've always dreamt about having as a gaming display, right? Mm-hmm. So there's just so much goodness is what I'm saying right now out here for gamers. It's the best time to be a gamer. And that's something that I think I'm going to keep at the core, man. Yep. I'm going to keep that at the core.
Do us a favor, guys. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. They did have an outage a couple of days ago, Storm, and I didn't even think about this. And maybe this is what's on this thing. Things out of whack. The video came up unlisted. Hey, Roger, what's up, Zajic? A lot of people don't even know that we're live, and I was just in behind the scenes fixing it. It was listed as unlisted. Now it's public. But if you could do us a huge favor, guys, because we're going to get into these yappers, we're going to get into these phone calls. Let everybody know that we're live. Tweet this out. it means so much to us. We can't do this without you. So we appreciate all that. But with that being said, man, you ready to get into these topics, man? Because as they say, as it burns a hole in your pocket. No, these topics are burning a hole in our throats. You know what I'm saying? We ready to get. They are.
They are.
So, first and foremost, hey man, let's talk about. We talked about what we was playing. Well, I didn't talk about what I was playing. It's more PGA 2K21. That's my crack. That's my gaming crack. I did some more Division Season 3, baby. Wow, perfectimo. I bought into the season as well, so I get some additional perks, and you will be seeing me and Storm. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get together, do some things on that, especially for our Patreon people. We just dotting the I's and crossing the T's on that one. Another thing, Storm, is Serious Sam. I play Serious Sam.
Hey man, keep it factual. Keep it factual when we talking about the Sam.
Hey, look. That's
Sam. It's definitely a franchise that we love. Right off the rip, I'm just gonna say that right now. I loved it. I jumped into it with the collection, man. I was ready. Hey, it is what it is. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you talk first, man. I'm glad you're going first.
we're gonna get to that a little bit, man. Yeah, Trizza Rector said came in from the tweet, couldn't find the show. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Google. I don't know what they're doing, bruh. Please, y'all get it together, man. I think that's the thing that irks people about Google. Google has a style that they're not super communicative. You know what I mean? And it kind of drips to Stadia, and people are upset about that, especially because in gaming, you got Phil Spencer on social media every 3 minutes. He does 9 interviews a second. You know what I'm saying? You got all this jazz and pizzazz. And to what the homie Trizza Rector said earlier, he said it's about games. And I get that. It's all about games. There's always going to be games, Trizza. But I'm going to steal something from the homie Eddie Player One. Shout out to him. He said in the Two's podcast that we did, the Boss Edition, he said Stadia is looking to evolutionize the game the way Sony did. And I shared a story with how my aunt, who hated us, that used to whoop our blank, Storm, used to whoop us down to the white meat because we be up all night playing video games. And she's like, you know what you're doing to my electricity, boy? When we sat there and we watched the Sony commercial, she took us out to Hills and got us a PlayStation because she wanted to play it too. That's how big Sony changed the game. So what we're saying is, if Google can change the game like that and uproot the game from the floor up like that and provide you the games, it's a wrap. See, right now we're all focused on, I want a big old shopping cart of the experiences that I see now. Google's like, we're building to give you experiences that are going to blow your mind in the future. And sometimes you can't always do both. You could do a little bit of the now and more into the future. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to talk about that. But anyway, what was it? We was talking about, okay, we're going to save Serious Sam also. Here's something I do want to talk about, though. That's not about the big, flashy, pizzazz AAA games. I want to get your thoughts, Storm, on this Makers program. The Stadia Makers. I'm going to do this too. Let me put this up there on the screen. Give us your thoughts on the Stadia Makers program, man. How important is this program to you as far as something that Stadia needed to implement?
Very, very, very important. And I'll say this, shout out to Eddie Player One, who dropped who put us down with an article, man, that I read in its entirety. And basically it opened my eyes, man, because there was an example in there about a husband and wife development team, I think, who felt that they wouldn't have had an opportunity to develop their game on any other platform or especially in the cloud or something like that. You know what I mean? I could be off a little bit, but just hearing different accounts from different indie devs who don't really have the budget and the extra financing or whatever to kick off something big like that's even or remotely close to a AAA title. Mm-hmm. So for them to be able to have an opportunity, man, this program opens the door for those indie devs. And so I'm learning, that so many of us, there's people out here who love indie titles.
Yep.
I mean, I have friends who definitely, they sit back and say, Indies? What?
Yep.
Man, give me the Call of Duty, the 2K, the Madden, the PUBG, and everything else, man. They want all the biggest titles, and they don't have love for the indie devs, right? Or the indie titles. I think the program is monumental, man. I think that door that you're going to see this window grow, because there are people who are really interested in getting into game development, especially on the indie level. I myself, after playing Crater, I must say this right here. After playing Crater, I think that I feel like now I might want to try to get my feet wet in the game. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Somehow, some way, man. Yep. Like it's stuff like that that's beautiful about the whole thing.
Yep, absolutely. So here's the thing to me too, Storm, that's very, very powerful, is that there was that in this business industry or whatever it was article that came out not too long ago that said that Stadia was only thinking about AAA games, and they were not thinking about the small developers. And they said, okay, well, hold our beer. they basically came out with this program in 4 or 5 months, and they've already got 5 or 6 games coming from it. To me, that's huge, man. That's huge. And I think, again, a lot of us have short-term memory because the same people, and this is the segue to really why I wanted to bring this up, Storm, because I'm not gonna lie to you. We're gonna pull the scab off this episode. Like we might lose some friends. I'm just letting y'all know. I'm a little disappointed. I'm disappointed in some of y'all that might be listening to this, for the simple fact that less than 3 or 4 months ago we were all fighting the same battle against the lies of Business Insider. That's who it was, Business Insider. And now they made it come to fruition and they shut them up. And on the heels of them announcing this, on the heels of them going to these smaller devs and saying, look, man, we're proud of you graduating through this program. We were happy to fund you. We're happy to make success stories out of what you do. We're going to plan this announcement on Monday. And for the simple fact that Microsoft came out and shocked the world, that's cool. And they said, you know what, but besides that, even though Microsoft shocked the world with the Bethesda announcement, we still want to honor you guys. We're still going to make this announcement. And the simple fact that people just revered and sneered and went crazy all over the internet, this ain't the time for this. To me, I thought I'm going to be honest with you. And again, I don't know who was all involved. I've seen some, and I don't mean this. I'm not saying this about your character. I'm just talking about the action. I think it was disgusting. I truly do think it was disgusting. Again, when you look at this from 5,000 feet, you have smaller devs struggling, trying to do the damn thing. Google could have kept on course with just older AAA content. They said, you know what? Nope. Before Business Insider makes something out of nothing, we are going to highlight the smaller devs. Okay, Microsoft did their thing, but we want to show that we're well-rounded. And in the stratosphere of this shocking news, we still want to show homage to the devs. We always talk about that. Like Tristan said, it's about the games, it's about the devs. And when they keep their word to these smaller devs and say, no, we're still going to highlight your good efforts, people sneered like animals and went wild on the internet. And I think it was repulsive. I just had to put it out there. I'm sorry.
No, you're absolutely right, man. I mean, you're right. And there's no other way to put that, because we know the indie devs are what's filling up these libraries, right? With great content. They kind of provide those. And I'm not going to demean or downplay any of this. You all know what I'm talking about. They have great games that we could play while we're waiting on the Cyberpunks and the Assassin's Creed Valhallas and all those titles, right? I'm not 100% innocent because I'm a graphics fiend, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I love some graphics. I love the technology behind these games. That's what I love the cloud. See, mostly this is what I love about the cloud, y'all. This is why I ride for Stadia and I praise GeForce Now, and I can't wait to see what Amazon does with Luna. And I love Shadow because it's just a remote PC. And this is why I get so excited, man. So when you see me out there shouting out Outcasters and praising them for doing the thing, even though that's a first party studio with Stadia right now, Stadia Games and Entertainment. But I show love to these developers, y'all, to these indie devs and these devs that doesn't have the foothold to go out there and stomp with the big dogs as of yet. Like, again, Creator did that to me, y'all. It opened my eyes. Now, I had already had appreciation for indie titles and indie devs and everybody, but me getting in there and trying to write a script and not knowing what the hell I was doing, for example, and then seeing how Russ and Adam and so many of the great people over at Unit 2 that was just trying to help people. Mm-hmm. You know, it's kind of like, so when I see Wade Break out there on Twitter, and they're not getting a whole lot of love, man. Mm-hmm. It just makes me put a like on the tweet. Mm-hmm. I put a like on the tweet, even if I'm not gonna buy the game right away. Mm-hmm. And it makes me want to go out and buy the game, man. You get what I'm saying, man? I got love for the indies, dog. Like I do, man. I do. I tried so many of them right now, man. I feel so guilty. I feel because they're working hard, man. They're trying to bring us something rather than resting on their laurels and sitting there like, I wish we could. Man, they're doing better than me. That's all I can say. So I appreciate them.
Yeah, man. I'm looking at Anders. Shout out to Anders. You're a big time supporter. I'm gonna be Melatonin about this. It's not snobbiness, man. Look, y'all done seen me talk about these what did I call them, Storm? Pity pack games. I would call them pity pack games. Just talking about when I was in conversations about library. But at the end of the day, Anders, I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, brother. But at the end of the day, it's not snobbiness, man. We were fighting this fight 3 months ago for the day that, hey, Google is trying to change the game. What are y'all talking about, Yang Ye? What are y'all talking about?
I think Anders now. See, Anders, I don't know if he's directing that towards us now. I think he's just saying, like, in general, what we're talking about with because he's shouting out Fall Guys is an indie game. Among Us is and all that, right? Big titles, huge games. You know what I'm saying? Inside. And all those types of games. Well, I don't know. Hey, let us know, Anders. Clarify. Let's see if I'm right.
Clarify, Anders, because I think what he's trying to say is that these indie games aren't big enough. And it's not about them being big enough. It's about people were saying that Stadia was not supporting indies. It's not the people were saying that Stadia was not supporting indies.
I remember that.
You know what I'm saying? No, but he says it's not directed towards you guys. They were saying, so just for clarification. Okay, Anders. Now I appreciate that, good brother.
Yeah, I figured that.
Yeah. So but even to speak on it, and Anders is, to be clear, Anders isn't talking against this. But just for those that might feel this way, people were saying that Stadia was not supporting indies. They weren't supporting indies. They only cared about the big games. And we fought Yang Ye on this. And we fought people on this. This ain't true. Stadia's trying to change the game. Come on, y'all. And then for them to finally have the fruits of that labor come around, them fund it, and 3 months later you go, I don't want to say that. That's, I think, what the snobbiness that Anders was talking to that I misconstrued. My fault, my good friend.
Well, you know, another thing about this is, you're right, because now nobody in their right mind, MM2K, man, nobody in their right mind sat there and thought that it was going to be all AAA bangers, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And on this platform. I hope people didn't think that. But in the midst of all these announcements that's coming, and we've already been hit with some AAA bangers within the last few weeks, you know what I'm saying? With all those AAA titles coming, those titles are going to be there. So why throw shots at the indies in the first place? I don't understand when you know that those titles that you want are just around the corner. And some of them are already on the platform. I must double back on that.
But here's why, Storm. Because You can't separate the forest from the trees. People are upset because they want to see more content as a consumer, and I get it. But sometimes, but your personal feelings can't spill into every single message that comes out there. You see what I'm saying? And it's like what we do with Stadia a lot of times is we play a who's on first, who's on third. If anybody knows that, if they're old enough, I'm telling my age, that's Abbott and Costello. Go look that skit up. You know what I'm saying? They're all over.
Old as a mother.
Ada. See,
Nah,
we if Google did listen to us as a community, we would have them all over the place. Like who's on first, who's on third.
Well, see, let me stop you real quick, man, because Google listens to what we have to say. And in fact, MM, I don't know if you had this on the notes, man. Hey, put this on the notes, bro, if you didn't already. Let's talk about that program at some point during the show where the founders are being appreciated. Can we get into that a little bit later, please?
Oh, yeah. You want to go there? See, I ain't know. Hey, Storm.
You know what? It's Saturday.
Hey,
I ain't got no job.
Where my pencil at?
I ain't got no money. I ain't got no weed.
Let me pencil it in.
We might as well do it. You know what I'm saying?
We can talk about it because really, see, great minds think alike. Great minds think, and Storm is my shrink. So he had me. You see how I was about to go into the weeds, and Andrew's like, I ain't even talking about that. What's wrong with you, big fella?
Man, where's my check from last week?
Yeah, your check. I don't know, man. Hey, look, man. Put it on my tab, brother. Put it on my tab, man. I just won't lay on the couch next time. I'll just sit up. I'll just sit up on the stool. Hey, look.
Bro. All right.
Let's talk about it, y'all. Like I said, I hope we don't lose no friend, Storm, because I don't mean anything malicious by this. But I don't think we will, man. But I think
we respect everybody's opinions and everybody. I hope respect.
Absolutely, that's how absolutely. We respect everybody's opinions. But to what Storm elegantly brought up, let's talk about it. Stadia community, and I'm not trying to make y'all change y'all minds and think like me. I'm just saying y'all got to y'all got to keep looking at the big picture. I think we're frustrated. I think there's segments
frustration. Slow it down, man.
I know
frustration, man.
The frustration.
So you get all worked up. See, this is what I'm talking about, man.
Hey, Storm, take over, man. Take over.
Check your blood pressure, man. Check your blood pressure, man. Make sure you're cool, MM. You're trying to do good. You've been doing good, man. You're not yelling in my ear.
Yeah.
You're not yelling in everybody else's ear who's used the headphone users today.
I ain't blowing
You're
up
doing
your
good, bro.
Yep.
Now I know at some point, MM, that's gonna happen. It's all right.
No,
it's all right. You gotta be yourself, man.
Man,
you gotta be yourself.
I'm gonna be cool. I'm gonna be calm. Y'all gonna be shocked. It's gonna be entertaining, but I'm gonna be cool. So let me say this, man. I'm gonna say this. That I think the community's frustrations that we're not seeing those big AAA games at the veracity of a PlayStation, of an Xbox, I think it's starting to mount. And it's starting to mount so much with the sector of the community that they are starting to get closed-minded. And I don't mean that in a mean way, but it's just, you got to be self-aware. They're starting to get closed-minded, and they're no longer...
We'll clarify.
They no longer care that Stadia is thinking big picture. See, if you rewind the tapes and go back to the stuff that we said like 3-4 months ago, everything was, well, look, y'all got to understand, Stadia's big picture. Stadia's big picture. It's a sprint, not a marathon. And we were happily saying that 3 or 4 months ago, but a difference a day makes. Now that we got all these big bang, boop, 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 bop announcements around us, it doesn't matter that Stadia's thinking long term. We want the stuff now. And now that we want the stuff now, every single thing that every other entity's doing is superb, and anything that Stadia does is meh. You know what I'm saying? Like it meh. This is meh. That's meh. Ooh, Amazon. Amazon is bundling ketchup bottles with their Fire Sticks. That's fantastic. Stadia, you can play Marvel's Avengers on your phone at perfect fluidity. Meh. You see what I'm saying? So because we're not getting a particular type of content, I think the community is starting to get a little bit more closed-minded, and then they're like, they don't even care about the big initiative stuff anymore. And it's spilling over into the founders. I'm going to let you talk about this. It's spilling over into the whole founders thing. So, Storm, talk about that. What's going on with the founders?
Hey, look, from the little bit that I do remember, because once I heard that they're going to be showing appreciation to the founders by giving us kind of like this this VIP access in the blog, right? Yep. Like in the blog that they're going to be doing, right? Mm-hmm. They're going to be able to to basically see our badge, our day one founders badges. And then we're going to be able to have some Q&A sessions. Now, remember months ago when we used to, when the community was in uproar, and I'm not talking about all. When we say community, y'all, it's not everybody. You know, it's not everybody in the community. It's some people in the community who just had their difference in opinions. That's all, difference of opinion. Yeah. So that's who I'm talking to right now. And people know that I say this on everybody's platform. Everybody knows Projekt Storm, man. You know MM2K. We're going to be vocal about it, just like everybody else. We're going to be in your shows talking. We're going to push back when we feel like, hey, wait a minute, I don't fully. Chase does it. We all do it at times, and this is what we have to do. This is what we need to do. You know what I'm saying? So now, months ago, people were saying Google's not communicating clear enough. We need transparency. We need them to act like they care about the platform. And I'm not quoting, I'm paraphrasing. You know what I'm saying? Where's Google? Where's John Justice? Where's Jade Raymond? And where's everybody else?
Yep.
And then, so they announced this program, and then we see a couple tweets on Twitter, and people are saying, what? How does this make sense? Pretty much like, what? Now you're going to forget about the other gamers who are not founders? And hey, look. Now, I'm not questioning nobody's pockets, because I do remember seeing a brother tweet something out that it resonated with me. And he said, I didn't have the money at the time, so I used somebody else. I came in with the Buddy Pass, another Stadia key feature. You know what I'm saying, that they came up with. Mm-hmm. So, and I get it. Like, yeah, people want to be in that club, but see, everybody's doing it. Microsoft is doing it with Game Pass Ultimate, you know, and Sony's doing it with PS Plus, and so many of these companies are doing this. It's kind of like, it's not like separating or segregating gamers and stuff like that. I don't believe it's appreciating those who took the plunge, because some gamers just sat back and said, this ain't going to work. Mm-hmm. This will not work, y'all. It's cloud technology. It's going to go the way of OnLive. Shout out to OnLive. OnLive, a straight pioneer in the game, paved the way for Stadia and other platforms that's going to be doing it. If you ask me, MM2K. So what I'm saying is, we have to be careful. We have to be mindful. We ask for something, we get it. We ask for more indie or casual games to appeal to the casual gamers, and then we started getting casual games. And now we're getting too many casual games.
Yeah.
Man, how does this make sense at the end of the damn day? Y'all got to let me know. Help me out, Projekt Storm. I need help like everybody else. Help me out. If you get a chance later on when these live calls open up, people call in. Leave a yapper. You know what I'm saying? Don't agree with everything we say. Let us know how you feel. Like that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, because I am confused on that. I am confused.
Some friendly discourse is what we're about today on SML. As long as it's respectful, y'all, because we're not going to disrespect you. Don't disrespect us.
You know what? Look. I mean, I hope if it doesn't get too wild and vulgar, you know, I don't care. Yeah, the people, hey, look, like Cold Blood Sensei. If Cold Blood Sensei want to come up and talk his crap, fine, let him do it, man. I love the brother, but you know, we just gonna boop bop. We gonna boop bop him without me getting loud. But no, to what Storm said, this show's about y'all. We're going to open up the phone line soon and all the other good stuff. But I want to go to something that the homie Trizarector said. Trizarector said, but it's, what are you doing for me today? I can't wait for tech and all that. But what about today? And I get that. And see, here's the thing, Trizarector. I made this analogy a few weeks ago. Say if you open up a restaurant and they say, okay, look, we're in the beginning throes of this restaurant. We want to have chicken and steak. You know what I'm saying? That's our goal. And over time, when you come to this restaurant, we're going to have lobster tail, this, that. And we're going to serve you in a way that you'll never be served before. But right now, we're just focusing in on chicken and steak. And you come and you go get the chicken and steak, and you're like, oh, this is great. This is good. I like this. Man, the way y'all season y'all stuff is beautiful. Where's the lobster at? All right, come on, get the lobster. Oh, I can't. When y'all get that lobster, it's gonna be great. When you gonna get the lobster, and then
you get the lobster now.
You got to get it now.
Restaurant now. You told me you're gonna have lobster.
Exactly.
I want it now.
We want it now. What y'all gotta understand is Google is moving at its own pace, as Avery said so elegantly in the chat. People, Zostrelnik, someone that don't really believe in cloud gaming. He's making most of his cloud investments in Google. This is somebody that don't believe in cloud gaming. He's making, I'm going to calm down. He's making it.
Man, Go ahead. I told you. Go ahead.
I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it down because I don't want. I can't have my tab with you, Storm, get too high. But
we got the MMometer.
Yeah, exactly. The MMometer. Yeah.
When it gets to the boiling point, man, I'll bring you down. But I'm gonna try my best, man. Go ahead, man. Wield your power. Wield your power, man. Go ahead, man.
We're gonna
gaming, y'all.
Hey, yeah,
this is what we do here.
Hey, look, hold on. Let me see if I can find it. You'll. Oh no, I ain't got it. I was gonna say you'll see something like "We'll be back." Oh, here it goes. You'll see something like this. Be right back. You'll see that. I gotta make that a little bit better on the screen, make it wider. But yeah, y'all see something like "We'll be right back" and whatever. Anyway,
it's all good. Get back to that interesting point, man.
Yeah. So okay. So here's the thing, and y'all like we want the lobster now. Google is moving at its own pace. They're trying to uproot the way that gaming is going to be done long term. On that path, they are going to give you games that can play well on the tech right now. They're giving you tastes of what you're going to get long term in the future. If you enjoy that taste that they're giving you, just like in that same scenario where they season that chicken and that steak so well, if you're enjoying that and you're okay with that and you're patient enough to wait for that, then this is the place that you can go, pay for your chicken and steak, and in long term know that you're helping invest in something that's going to be big because of how they prepare their food. Same with Stadia. You can enjoy the library that they're giving you. You can enjoy the games that they're giving you via the superb platform. But at some point in time, they're going to go big, and they're going to go big in a way that has never been seen before. And it's not about the here and now with them. If you're okay with taking that journey with them, then fine, be part of the platform as we're going through this journey. But if you're like, no, I don't care that your seasoning is great. I want a full buffet of stuff right now, and I don't care if the buffet tastes mediocre. I want it now. Then I got to be honest with you guys, and I'm not being mean about this or telling you to shut up or any of that stuff. This just ain't the place for you right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to make a decision. Am I here for the journey? Do I want to be here at the beginning throes of this journey because I love this tech and I want to see the games like Marvel, like NBA 2K21, like Doom, like soon we're getting Sekiro, you know what I'm saying, and so on and so on. If I want to see those experiences here and there in those individual spurts on this fabulous tech, then I'm going to enjoy this ride. But if I'm like, yo, I got to have a plethora of everything right here and right now, then you can't. Either one, if you're only looking for one platform, this may not be the platform for you. Or for two, why this got to be your only platform? Like I'm a GFN and Stadia founder, and when Luna comes out, I'm gonna pay for that too, as long as that price ain't too crazy. See what I'm saying? So y'all gotta understand the product for what it is, and if you don't appreciate it for what it is, then it's not for you. But just because it's not for you doesn't mean it's going to fail. That's what we got to get out of. We got to get out of that humph. Well, I want this now, and because I'm not getting this now, it's going to fail. We got to stop that. They're thinking long term. I'm gonna say this real quick. I wish I had the article, but I can't find it. Jack Buser in March of 2019, y'all, told VG 24/7. Look it up. He said, "Look, the beauty about Stadia is year one. A lot of people are going to play it and be happy. A lot of other people are going to play it and be like, nah, this ain't really what I'm looking for whatever reason. Maybe because it's not a 1v1 match in fidelity with the biggest and baddest PC or console, or they don't have the library. But he said people are going to come back in 3 years and they're going to be like, wow, this experience with Stadia is so much better than what I experienced day one and what I could ever imagine." That's what he said. So if he says that in March 2019, you know that they're in it for the long game. And if they're in it for the long game, but you started in this thing early, then maybe it's a little bit too early for you to get into it. That's all we're saying. Basically, that's it. So,
with that being said, I'll say this. Based on what we have right now, we have some cloud games, cloud tech out here, right? And I try not to trash anything, but what I will do is keep it factual. I played a lot. I put some hours. I'm talking about hours and days in the Geforce now. Got the receipts on my channel. If y'all want to check it out right here, I mean, go Project Storm, check it out after the show or whatever, or at some point in the near future. I mean, Shadow PC. I've done it. You know what I'm saying? PS Now is all out there, y'all. So the proof is there. See, I'm putting hours into this tech. I'm not jumping into the party and talking about, man, where the fruit punch at? You know what I'm saying? I'm getting to know everybody first. You know, what I'm saying is I'm experiencing this technology. All right. When Luna comes out, because remember, Luna's not out yet. Yeah. We'll get into that later because I know MM told me, don't you do it. Don't jump the gun. It's hard, MM. Yeah. I can't wait to get into it, man, because people are celebrating Luna like it's out already, like it's been doing big things already, man. But anyway.
Speaking of that, real quick, speaking of Luna, Ray Sharon in the chat says, Luna opened her legs and I smell tuna. Laugh out loud. On paper, Luna looks good. Show me. We're going to get into it. Ooh, woo. Woo. Before we go further, hey, Storm, how do you feel about getting to these yappas?
You know, we can start out with some yappas, man. Yeah, we can mix it up because you know, this is going to be a big one. We will definitely open up the lines for extended phone calls, man.
Yeah, exactly. Let's do this. Let me switch the screen, man. Oh man, hey yo. Ray, you're a fool for that one.
People are starting to have fun with the Luna stuff. I still don't understand the name. Now, if it was an acronym, you know, if it meant something really cool, like Stadia is basically plural for stadiums. Yeah, which you can imagine an arena of gamers just getting it in. You know what I'm saying? And that competitive esports like environment is how that's how I liken Stadia. You know what I'm saying? I liken Stadia to that. But Luna, it's kind of like, I don't know where they were trying to go with that. Now, they have Alexa and all these other products. Yeah, that's dope. But I don't understand. But that's just me, y'all. I just don't understand it yet. So that doesn't mean that the games are not going to work. That doesn't mean Amazon doesn't have a foothold out here and they're not a serious contender. It does not mean that. But, you know, hey.
No, Victor is right. Hold on, Victor. My bad, good brother. You're absolutely right. I'm sorry. He said use your damn Discord chat too, man. What's wrong with you? Yeah, we still got to work on that integration. Victor, are you in the Stadia Dosage panel chat? Because no, not the panel chat. What am I talking about? It's the Stadia War Room chat. If you go to the Stadia War Room chat and you leave us comments, I'll definitely pluck some comments from there too. And that's something that our Stadia War Room people that have helped invest into the platform, that's a special chat for them. If you want to get access to it, you got to go to pntsnetwork.com at the moment and sign up for our Stadia War Room. It's only $3 a month, but that way we keep all of our Stadia talk away from the cold blood senseis in the chat and the shake capos that want to do nothing but cause grief. But let me do this. I'm gonna play this yappa. I'm gonna play these series of yappas from our homie Bippity Bop. Yeah, there you go. I see you, Vic. Thank you for that reminder, man.
Bippity Bop. Hey, Bippity, he does the same thing to you, man. You know, now today is it marks the first show that MM2K didn't call me Project Stream, Race the Rod, Bippity Bop. Chariot Man, 6'4", you know what I mean? Trizzle Rector, Makes Me Go Hard, and just about anybody else that he could think of. I'm like, yo, that's the Mother Brothers, man. Oh, man. It's not Project Storm. You know what I'm saying? Get my name right, man.
Let me see.
The only one I will accept is Project Stream. But let's go ahead and move on. Project Stream is that's just dopeness, man.
Oh, man. You know, hey, look, I like I said, man, just put it on my tab, brother. Put it on my tab. All right, so let's play Bippity. And again, I am saying Bippity, but you know, what did Jamie Foxx say about what did he say about Joe Pesci or somebody? He said, man, every time they talk, he got a bubble of spit on his mouth. I'm saying Bippity with the B, but you know, I'm so excited I got spit all over the crevice of my mouth. It sounds like I'm saying Bip a D, but I am saying Bippity. All right, here we go. Let's play it. Let me know if you guys can hear it in the chat, and Storm, let me know if you can hear it too. We're about to play Bippity's message.
Hey guys, what's up? It is Bippity Bop, and today I just want to talk about
how people
Storm? Are afraid that
I hear it.
Because Lua might do good. That's the end for Stadia. No, y'all. We should be celebrating the fact that another top dog is coming out, because right now Stadia has been the only top dog. So if Lua does take off, and grow in popularity, that's only going to help Stadia. That's only going to do great things for both of them. It's going to introduce more people to cloud gaming, and it's going to help prove that cloud gaming does work. And people are going to be looking at both of them at that point. And I got another part to this.
All right.
Sign that boy, man. Sign that boy right there, man. I knew
people will look at both of them, and that is a great thing. There's a lot of people in this world, y'all. There's a lot of gamers. There's millions and millions upon billions of gamers. I mean, it's not the end, dude. This is only going to help the popularity of Stadia. And say that Lua does pass Stadia up. You know what I'm saying? Stadia is going to ride that wave that Lua is creating, because a lot of people want subscriptions, but there's a lot of people that don't want that. They just want to buy the game. So they're going to be looking at that. Stadia is trying to innovate and change how we play games and bring us new experiences. And Lua is just trying to do channels, which is great. They're both different. So that's all I got to say.
All right.
So that's why I know Stadia is going to be fine at the end of the day, and Luna is going to be fine too. They're both going to be top dogs, I think. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but the other day when Stadia was trending, they gained about 3,000 subs on Twitter. Not followers. I pay attention to those numbers. After they were done trending, they had about 3,000 more, y'all. So I'm saying, y'all, like, they're gonna help each other as far as players and help. They're gonna grow each other's player base, and there's gonna be people that have both, and you can always come and go as you want with cloud gaming. You can do Stadia for so much, you can do Luna, you can go back and forth. So it's gonna be great, y'all. People will look at both of them, and that is a great thing. There's a lot of people in this world.
Wow.
Hey, that boy good. That boy good right there,
that boy right there, you know his stuff there, boy. He know that stuff there, boy. Hey, Bippity. Wow. Did y'all hear that?
That boy good, man.
Did y'all hear that? He clarified in the chat, though. He says 300, not 3,000. But do you see what happened? That when we don't play this game, and again, I'm not trying to be mean to Xbox, but we don't play this game. See, here's what's happened. And I think and Xcloud is going to be fine as well, right? But Phil Spencer was so scared of Amazon and Google that his thing was, look, I got the mind share right now. Let me send my goons out there to be on the attack. And that's why you saw some of those ridiculous articles from Jazz of Windows Central that said Destiny now is on Xcloud, so that kills Stadia, and then he sent out ridiculous. That's why you started seeing all this ridiculous talk. Our homie Parasili saying that every 3 days that Stadia is dead. That was because of the influence of Xbox and Phil. He said, I'm going to use my mind share to help keep down the anticipation of cloud gaming. But see, here's what Luna did, which I commend him on. Luna didn't attack Stadia. Luna just came out and said, here goes us doing our thing. This is our thing. And at Bippity's point, that's helping to uplift cloud gaming altogether. Stadia even got 300 additional subs because of it. So that brought light, and Stadia was trending. So that brought light to Stadia, because we got to remember, just because we hear the 5% harking on Stadia all the time, the other now 95% Storm don't even know what Stadia is. Right. So that helped bring light to Stadia, and people can play it. And now they're like, well, I don't care what Yang Ye said. This works great for me. What do you think about that?
I think it's big, and I think Bibbity is absolutely right. And that's something that a lot of us took into account. Now, I can see a lot of members from the community, definitely, and people in the chat here, and the listeners or whatever. I know that some of them are thinking this along these lines, because competition does great things. You know what I'm saying? It does great things for everybody. So especially gamers. So now that another cloud gaming juggernaut is coming into the game, man, that's going to open the door now for Stadia to be in that room. Like, you know what, man, It's not time to push the button just yet, but let's flip this switch over here to the right. You know what I'm saying? Let's get all these gamers that we can get in here with these big announcements that we know. Now, notice I'm not going to say I think. I'm going to say I know, because one thing I know about Stadia is that they will drop a stealth right on your head. They will drop a stealth bomb right on your head when you're not expecting it. You know what I'm saying? So I know November will mark that 1 year anniversary that a lot of people are talking about. A lot of speculation is happening right now. One thing we've learned already is not to get our hopes up too high. But one thing I know is that Stadia will, like Phil just did with Immortals Phoenix Rising, they will make a splash, MM2K, every now and then.
Yep.
So all we have to do is just stay on the ship. Don't jump overboard just yet, because paradise might be right ahead.
Yep, absolutely. I want to highlight something that the homie Victor Victor Del Maestro put in the Stadia War Room chat. He says, in my honest opinion, Luna has yet to prove that it can work as well as Stadia does. Stadia servers use Linux for a reason, to mitigate latency/lag. God dang that boy! Can Luna servers do as well to reduce in regards to performance? Look, man. Hey, Victor. I know that Storm put the signal out last week that he was looking for a new co-host, but don't be coming for my job, man. Yeah, Victor, dropping these facts.
Hey, I'll talk to you more behind the scenes, Victor. We got a spot. We got a nice throne right here, man, right on the left of me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, hey, keep on bringing that fire, y'all. You know what I'm saying? This is what it's all about, man. Let's get this thing popping.
Yeah.
It's a good time to be a gamer, no matter where you are. Now, so the console players right now are hearing all this cloud talk. Cloud, man, M2K and Projekt need to shut the hell up, man. They keep flooding our inboxes with all this craziness, right? Yo, hey, cloud gaming is real. I think we all can attest to this now. It is something. Amazon's jumping in. You know, Xbox is about to go full steam ahead because they just copped something called Orion. Now, MM likes to call it Orion because he's on the B2K thing from back in the day. You know what I'm saying? B2K, you singing all the songs in the mirror and stuff, right? But it's Orion. It's Orion. They just copped Orion, and they're gonna do. I anticipate them doing big things with that technology. Now, you see it in the title, but MM, when do you want to jump into it? Is the question.
You talking about? No, let's do it.
Orion and
okay. No, you know what? No. Because like we said, this is going to be a big one. Let's get some of this preliminary stuff out of the way because we know that's going to be a big discussion. I mean, well, no. You the shrink. It's up to you, good brother. I mean, because
I say we go ahead and stick with your plan because we didn't cover a couple of the other things. We didn't get into Serious Sam and all that yet.
Yeah. Let's get it out the way, man. Let's get Serious Sam out the way, man. So, hold on. So, Serious Sam dropped, bruh. And boy, was it a drop! My thoughts of it, look, this was a heavy anticipated game for me. I was caught up in the fact that you will be able to play this game, and play it hopefully at 60 frames per second. Despite the high specs that it had on PC. That's what I said. That's when the full value proposition of a Stadia was really going to come to fruition. I get the game. And for me, I know, like, I'm going to be honest with you. After I found out that there was no 60 frames per second mode at all on this Twitch shooter, it was like a no-go for me. Now, Eddie Player One did break it down and say, hey, look, guys, on SSE, said, look, they were looking to just have massive enemies on the game or whatever, and I get all that, but that's not Serious Sam. You know what I'm saying? That's like if I came out with Uncharted 3 and Uncharted 3 was a racing game. You know what I'm saying? Like, or not Uncharted 3, Last of Us 3. If I drop Last of Us 3 and it's a racing game, it's a racing sim. Like if you're not going to have 60 frames per second on what's globally known as a Twitch shooter, then you better call it Serious Sam Evolution or something like that. And it not being 60 frames per second is a no-go for me. Now, I've heard from a lot of people that they think the game is dope, even at 30 frames per second. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all, and maybe this is what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Maybe this is slight-minded of me. But I didn't come to Stadia for 30 frames per second gaming. What captivated me the most about Stadia was the 60 frames per second gaming. I don't game in 30 frames per second no more. Like, and I don't do it so much to where when I do it, I get headaches. The only game system that I can play at 30 frames per second is PlayStation because I don't know what they got going on, but it don't feel like 30 frames. It don't feel like a jagged 30 frames.
You know what it is? It's a locked frame rate. It's probably more so a locked frame rate than not. You know what I mean? And that's what makes everything smoother. That's why you have a Destiny every now, games like that feels right. It feels good at 30.
Yep.
On consoles.
I can't do it, and that's not what I come to Stadia for. I come to Stadia solely. My expectation is the word is superficial. My superficial expectation is 60 frames per second or else. Like, I don't even play ESO, and I love ESO, but I don't play it because it's 30 frames per second. So, but ESO to me can be a lot more. Can be enjoyable at 30. Ain't no big deal. My problem is a Twitch shooter at 30 frames, or what's globally known as a Twitch shooter at 30 frames per second. It's a no-go for me. I know there's other things that's wrong with it. And Storm, you're going to get into it, but
yes, I am.
What's your thoughts on what's going on, bro?
All right, well, let's go back to Victor again, man. Victor's moving closer to your spot, man.
Yeah,
every line he drops, 4K 60 FPS for Pro. Now, I don't know what Victor's trying to say, but I know what Bippity said. Bippity sent us a message today.
Oh, we're not taking phone calls, not just yet.
Not yet.
Not just yet.
Oh, we're gonna get to it.
I knew
the line was gonna be buzzing.
Yep, give us a call back soon.
Buzzing today. But Victor's saying 4K 60 FPS for Pro. Now, Bippity said something along the lines of his thoughts. Just gauging our thoughts on whether if Stadia was to announce a different tier without 4K and HDR or something like that. But I guess it would be different than the free model. We had to talk more about that, Bippity, but I heard what you was trying to say. Now, Victor here has me thinking 4K 60 FPS for Pro. Now, that just made me say, man, what if they can come out with something like an Ultimate and optimize these games somehow? I don't know, MM. I know people might say, oh, man, you're separating the user base and all that stuff and all that. But you're paying for that premium.
Mm-hmm. No, go ahead. What was that again, Storm? You said separating the user base how?
Yeah, all right. So you know how I was talking about Microsoft, if they could offer me a $1,200.
Oh yeah, I got you. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So Victor just made me think about the fact that, Pro, you have 4K HDR and all that, 4K 60 HDR for Pro users. That's the only way you're gonna get that. You know what I mean? For the free tier, it's up to, is it 1080p or is it 1440p included in that at all? I don't think it is. 1080p, right?
Mm-hmm.
1080p, all right. Ah, man, it just has me thinking like if they came up with an ultimate, like Stadia Ultimate tier or something, man. 4K 60 locked, guaranteed 4K 60 and above or something like that. I don't know now. I know that might be a problem for some people, but it just made me think that way.
I think that what they need to do. No, I agree with you. This is my personal opinion. I agree that they should have other tiers or have at least one more tier. But I think the Pro tier should guarantee 4K 60 lock up to 8K. That's what and they just need to work towards that. But the middle tier, which Bippity brought up, he was rapping to us behind the scenes, and I think this is a great idea. And he did put something out on Twitter too. Is I think that what they should do is come up with a tier that allows you to get to Stadia Pro games without having to worry about 4K at a cheaper price. Maybe $5.99. For $5.99 a month, you can get to Stadia Pro games for $4.90. This, I think this would be ideal. Maybe have two more tiers. For $4.99, you can either just outright buy your games, or you can become a Stadia 4K tier person where you're paying just $4.99 for 4K, or you can pay $4.99. No.
I know what you're thinking.
You know what I'm saying?
$7.99.
Yeah, $7.99 to make it a deal. You would have to do $7.99 for 4K, $7.99 for the Pro games, or you get them all together for $9.99. See, that'll make that $9.99 look more like a deal, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then they just guarantee everybody that you're going to get a locked 4K 60 when this Gen 2 come out. You know what I mean? Those are my thoughts, though.
I like it. Or they could bump up the 1080p, the free tier, to 4K.
Yeah. Yep.
And bump that Pro tier up to the 8K in the future, whatever the case. Anyway, but man, Victor, you made me think on that one though.
Yeah, that's some good stuff, man. So overall, on Serious Sam, man, your issues, bro. Like the technical stuff, man. What do you
All right,
think?
real quick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it brief, man, because we're not here to bash any games and the hard work that the developers put in, man. I will say that first, but we have to keep it real as consumers. You know what I'm saying? We have to let the developers know how they can improve for their next game or their update or future DLC or whatever the case is, or their patches that might drop. And without us knowing, by the way, because we don't feel patches, we don't get those, we don't experience those here on Stadia. Now, the game has so much potential, and that's why I get disappointed. You know what I mean? Because that opening scene, and I'm not spoiling anything here, y'all. The opening scene is mind-blowing. It was indicative of what Stadia is all about. If you listen to the fact that they could do 1,000 player battle royales and thousands of players, my bad, not just 1,000, as some people might think. Stadia in the future, they believe it's capable of doing thousands of player battle royale games and hundreds of thousands of enemies on screen and stuff like that. So when I saw that scene, I was like, wow, this is it right here. I know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But then the performance just didn't feel right to me. That's all it is. If the game was locked 60, I didn't care about the graphics, the fact that the graphics seem outdated. The graphics does seem outdated. So when people say that, I have to believe them because I'm seeing it with my own eyes. And 4K TVs are just enhancing that. It's making it more and more apparent. So my thing is, if the game doesn't feel right, like you were saying, MM2K, if I turn that camera and things are blurry, I'm not gonna really be able to play that game too long because I don't know what it is. I don't know if as we age, our eyesight gets more sensitive to stuff like that. I don't know what it is, bro. Yeah. But some people play these games and they're not locked at 30. They might be like 15 to 20 frames per second. And they're like, man, I don't understand what you're seeing right now. What are you talking about? You're getting a headache. You're getting sick and queasy from playing these games with unlocked frame rates that dip below 30. But that's what it's about, y'all. And that's why I can't rock with it right now. Man, now we both said, MM and I both said that once they patch this game, if they do that and this game is running smooth at a lock 60 or lock whatever, 30 even, then I'm jumping back in. It's that simple.
Yeah. So that's my thoughts too. And again, I don't want to down the devs. I love Crow Team. And my issue isn't so much with the game more than it is the performance on Stadia. And I know Stadia can perform well, hence the other video that I was showing you guys earlier where Storm's buttery smooth video, where I'm gonna show y'all a little bit where I got it up queued up right now, Storm. This is 30 frames per second. You know what I'm saying? And again, I don't mind 30 frames per second.
But it's not a lock 30, and there's screen tearing and stuff going on that needs to be ironed out. That's the bottom line.
And it hurt the hell out of my eyes.
If you ever hear this, or you're listening to the feedback from the community of the people that love your game, just all you gotta do is just polish it up. That's all. Just drop that patch and smooth everything out, and it'll be fine. Doom Eternal. Remember when Digital Foundry came out and announced what they felt the latency issue was on Doom Eternal? Then they came back. They patched the game a couple times after that. And Doom Eternal was one of the best playing games on Stadia right now. Mm-hmm. So it can happen.
Yeah, it can happen. And that's what my ultimate hope is that they'll patch it. I'm gonna say this though, earlier on, and I gotta keep it real. Every single game that I've highly anticipated on Stadia, there's been issues at launch.
Right.
And that's and I know, Storm, you don't agree with this, and maybe we'll save it for another show. We're gonna do our big debate. But that's why I say it's early access, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to find a sweet spot to win a game, among other things, but they're trying to find a sweet spot to when a game launches on a platform, it at least works at a certain standard. And what I've discovered is every single game from Division 2, which is fantastic now, to Serious Sam, there were launch woes. There were some serious launch woes. You know what I mean? And they'll find that sweet spot. You know what I mean? PGA 2K21. We know what those launch woes were. And I love that game. That's my most played game right now. So when they find that sweet spot, for the launch for everybody, I think they'll be great. With that being said, my ultimate hope is, Storm, is that they will allow this game. They'll fix this game in the ways that it needs to be fixed on Stadia, and I'll buy it right back. If I get 60 frames per second at 1080, I'll buy it right back. because I love Serious Sam. So those are just my thoughts. But I just wanted to put that out there for the listening public. So anything else, Storm, before we start taking these phone calls and we start talking about Luna? Anything else?
Luna. All right. So yes, they're the feature game of today that you're seeing is Division 2. Mm-hmm. Division 2 on Stadia runs phenomenally. It runs like a Ferrari. I'm not gonna, I can't even. I always say that, and believe me, people, that game is buttery. Yes. We always use the word buttery, but that's just what it is. It's like 4K. You get up to 4K 60 locked. And that's what we're talking about. When we're talking about great frame rate, you can look at this right now and just see the fluidity that MM was talking about earlier. You can see it in this game. You can see the polish. You can see all of that stuff. Shout out to Ubisoft, man. They're killing it on Stadia. They seem to have a great relationship, and I do plan to hear more about that. The big things from that relationship coming this fall. Hopefully, we'll hear that in the form of Uplay Plus or whatever. I'm very excited to throw my money at them.
Yep. Just as a reminder too, guys, again, Victor Del Maestro is part. I mean, there's a lot of you guys that are part of the, what's it called? And you can leave us chats there live on there. We're going to read those too. And that's because he's part of the Stadia War Room. If you want granted access to the Stadia War Room, it's via the PNTS Network Patreon. It's only $3 a month, and you can leave us messages, and then we'll definitely read them. So if you don't want to leave a yappa, if you don't want to call in, if you just want to do everything through text and you want to guarantee that we read your message live on air, be part of the PNTS Stadia War Room via the PNTS Patreon, and we'll definitely get your message. Like Victor's in here. He's interviewing to take my damn spot. That's what he's doing in here, but I'm gonna still read it. So, definitely. And this gameplay is buttery smooth, y'all. Buttery smooth.
Yeah. Now I did have a hiccup at the end. There was something with my PC, man. My Windows. We don't want to get into Windows. Don't make me. I'm not gonna do it to MM today, man. Windows 10. Man, I don't know. Sometimes crazy things happen with my PC. Yeah. So if you hear my voice cut out for any reasons, that it might have something to do with that. After I did the recent update, I will say it. So you're going to see something at the end of this video that might have a little hiccup or whatever, but that was on my PC's end. Yeah. But people that know my content, I only put it up there if it's buttery. You know what I'm saying? Like when I have issues, when it's a live stream, I can't tweak anything, y'all. Mm-hmm. I can't go and change anything when it's live, and this was live. In fact, a majority of my content is live.
Yep. Yeah. Y'all know the caliber. I mean, this man got the best looking videos. Period. He do. He ain't playing around. And he was getting on me for my video, my Division 2 video that was staggering all over the place like a drunken sailor. You know what I'm saying?
And that's funny because MM was the one that got me right. Like Storm, man, get your bit rate right, man. Trizzle Rector, everybody came through, showed some love. Zajic, everybody, you know what I'm saying, got me right. Chris, a lot of different people, man. 6-4 with the logo that you see, the 4K logo that you see on my videos and everything, man. It's like I got a lot of love. So look, man, but there's still room for me to turn up, y'all. There's still room when YouTube is ready, when they hit that switch and they go 4K 120 or whatever. I'll be ready, man. 8K 120, I'll be ready.
So Trizza says your job is safe. Now, Trizza, I don't trust you, man. Not Trizza. I was reading Trizza's comment. Victor Del Maestro in the what's it called said, "Hey, look, your job is safe." No, it ain't. I know what y'all. I don't trust you, nor do I trust Storm. I don't trust none of y'all. No, but shout out to you, man. You live. You live with these comments right now, man. It's killer in here, man. But again, if y'all want to leave, again, I'll leave it to join the PNTS Stadia War Room, like the homie Victor Del Maestro, and to leave a comment. There you go. That's how you do it. That's the link to do it. All right. So now let's get to it, man. And what we're going to do is we're going to make the live phone calls active. Let me put all this information out here so y'all are aware. The Skype line is 724-739-3612. Give us your thoughts. And if you want to leave a yappa, you go to pntsnetwork.com/# PNTS main yappa. So
yappa.
Go ahead, phone, because it's gonna get live here, man. It's gonna get live.
Yeah. And
all right, go ahead, Storm. My bad.
No. I was just gonna say, man. Shout out to. I see Alakazam is not here, man. I know he was doing his thing with the military and all that stuff. And, all that stuff.
We got a phone call already.
Luna.
All right, so let's do it.
Is it Luna?
Is it Luna? All right. You are live with Storm and Mose. Who are we talking to? And let us know what you got on your mind, our good friend.
Yeah, hey, what's up, fellas? Yeah, this is Ralph, also known as Mr. 1030 on Stadia.
Ralph!
Yes, sir. What's going on with you, boy?
What's going on? What's going on? I'm the one that you saw the post from on Twitter as well about me not having enough funds for the Founders Pack when it came out.
Yeah. Yo, ain't that funny?
The regular old premiere. Yeah, it's crazy. But so my take is actually on the Founders Pack. I got two takes, actually. Founders Pack plus this whole Luna thing. Founders Pack, number one. Young Ye is a founder, and I can't be? Like, what is wrong with this? Something ain't right. So I just said,
don't do it to him, Rav. Don't do it to him.
Something. Because there ain't no way these haters could be out here just because they dropped the funds, but hated on Stadia from day one. They could go in here and ask questions to these people like they really care. When you know they don't. They just looking for bait so that they can go ahead and, you know, put Stadia down again or say Stadia's dead again.
Yeah.
So why feed into that? Why give them that privilege? You know what I'm saying?
Man, that's a good point. I never thought about.
I'm gonna address that on the back end of this, but that's a great point. But go ahead, Rap. Yeah, go ahead, man. You killing it.
For sure. All right, number two, this Luna deal. Now, what if Amazon wasn't trying to come at Stadia with the $5.99 Luna cap? Because technically, for dropping, let's say $150 for your Stadia controller and possibly your Luna controller, and paying $15 a month, which is the same as Game Pass, you get access to all the Game Pass games.
Hey, yo!
Taking a shot at Microsoft. Maybe they both coming together to take a shot and knock Game Pass out the game.
Raph, why are you coming for my job too? Ain't none of y'all my friends today. Nobody's
Get
my
him, Raph.
Bruh.
Get him, Ralph.
Woo!
Get him.
Brother, even if your job is safe, man, but I'm just saying, like, if we thinking about this long-term perspective, Amazon maybe know that they can't compete, so let's knock Xbox out the box, and then we could have this cloud space.
Bruh.
Wow.
I got chills listening to that, y'all. I'm serious.
Wow.
I might have to just give him the job, man. He might just deserve it for that one. That's crazy.
Man, we're going to talk to you in the DM and stuff about
Yeah, man, we got to, bro.
Or something, man. We got to hear more about your thoughts, brother, because I didn't think of like,
hey, keep up the great work. Well, y'all guys are entertaining as hell. Love watching y'all. Would love the chance to play with y'all, man. Just keep up.
Hell yeah. Oh, man.
Well, add me. Yo, add me. You know what it is, Projekt Storm on Stadia, man.
For sure. I think I did that. I think Mr. 230 got you on there, but I'll double check and I will. I will definitely.
Yeah, because man, some people they add me and I don't see it, their names it's not the same as in the chat or whatever when they add me or whatever the case is. So and sometimes I'm live streaming, y'all. So if you ever send me an invite or whatever to play a game, I might be in the middle of a live stream. I love Stadia so much, you know.
Oh man. Woo! Yeah, Raf, hit me up. I'm MM2K, the MM2K on Stadia. If you already hit me up, my bad. Just let me know, and I'll make sure that I friend you. I'm horrible at that.
Oh yeah, because they pop up like crazy time. That's another thing they need to really work on this friend request. But that's a whole nother topic.
Exactly,
they be
bro.
Popping up and then it don't pop up and then it's great. So,
absolutely.
But that's another subject for another time.
Hey, got you,
That's
brother.
What's up, man. We appreciate you calling in, bro. Anytime, man. The phone line's always open for you, man.
All right. Thanks, fellas. Thanks again.
I appreciate you, good brother. Right. Have a good one.
All right, bet it up. We got Romello Thomas in the building, man.
Romello!
You know what I'm saying? Got the fresh cut and everything. You ready to get it in. Fresh cut and all.
Fresh fade.
What's going on?
Man, I look like a Storm. It looks like I'm gonna have to be like Romello and get a fresh fade and go on an interview, man. Y'all, everybody coming for my job today, man. What's going on?
Hey, you know what, man? I told you when I told you on the last show, I told you what I was gonna do, man. One thing you gotta understand, I don't play in these streets, man. I'm out here, man. If I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it, bro.
Hey, he ain't never lied.
You didn't get my name right. You didn't get my name right. I talked to my wife. I said, babe, let me tell you something, man. I do appreciate MM2K, man. He does a lot for a brother, but I can't fake, man.
Wow, man.
You got to get it together, or else this spot is on the line.
Hey, yo, man. Look, I'm still shocked by what Ralph said. Hey, look. See, this is
I never thought about that, man. Don't make it 30 minutes, man. We're gonna get Ralph.
I know.
Ralph, hey, Ralph, we're gonna be talking to you real quick.
Yeah,
look, we are going to communicate with you.
I want to throw this out there, bro, because we got to get into Luna though. People don't think about this. See, Amazon and Google are coexisting well. Even though they're competitors, they coexist well, right? So now you got Microsoft wanting to bump in. We're competitors. They want to bump in this deal. They could have linked forces and said, you know what? We don't want you in here. Get out. Because look what they done did. They done went and linked forces with PlayStation and all these other console mugs to try to fight them. See, Amazon and Google is comfortable at where they're at. They're cohabitat competitors, right? So maybe what Ralph is saying, one is for 10, one is for $5.99. We're going to coexist. We're going to knock Xbox out of the box, out of this whole thing. And that's why you don't see Luna talking bad about Stadia at all. You feel me? Man, that blows my mind. That blows my mind.
Hey, look, man. It's interesting. It's heating up, man. And that's what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
We've always talked about how these cloud services can coexist because it's a different sector. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not the console space.
Blows my mind, bro.
The PC space. It's cloud gaming.
Yep.
And that's totally different, y'all. It might seem the same because you're playing video games at a high level, at high fidelity and all that stuff, but nah, it's different.
It's not the same. All right, so let's get into this whole Luna discussion, man. So I want to do this because the good homie Clive Valinda, goodness gracious, I was in the middle of a burp. Clive Linden. I'm sorry, Clive. I called him Clive. I was in the middle mid belch when I said when that happened. My bad, Clive, man. Everybody's coming for my job, man. I'm feeling a little sensitive today, man. You gotta excuse me. So
it's all right, bro. It's all right, man. You're safe.
He says, peeps, and what I want to talk about, Storm, and get your thought and pick your brain on is the facts known about Luna and the myths. Like, and Clive highlights that very well here in this tweet. He says, peeps, let's be very clear. They use the word channels, plural. One of those channels is Luna Plus for $5.99. The other is Ubisoft for some unspecified cost. The marketing is very misleading about the number of games for $5.99 unless I'm missing something, which you ain't missing nothing because after further ado, we discovered that 50 games are going to be in the Luna Plus model at launch. 50 games are coming to the Ubisoft channel. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to go over these known facts and these myths and get your thoughts. Number one, we know it's going to be a limited early access. We know it's going to be up to 1080 at launch. We don't know when 4K is coming. We know that it's going to be a channel subscription method, no a la carte purchases. We do know, on a positive note, though, that you can stream up to 2 devices on Luna. You can't do that at the same time. You can't do that on Stadia. And we do know... Yet. That is true. We don't know if that's going to come in the future. We'll see. And we do know... Well, no, it's going to come via family share. You know what I'm saying? Via family share, you'll be able to share. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see.
Well, there you go.
iOS ready via Safari, and we know Stadia's getting that too. That's what we do know. Here goes the myths, though. The myths are 100 games for one price. That's a lie. We had a lot of people jumping on that early on. That was a lie. The Luna model will always be cheaper. We don't know because we don't know how much the Ubi channel is opposed to Uplay Plus on Stadia. How many games are gonna? We don't know none of that. And I've shown an example yesterday, battling some very nice person on Twitter, that there's pro sales and all types of stuff all the time. So that whole Stadia's overpriced thing is a farce. And also, what is a myth is the bigger library means better gameplay overall, because what Victor alludes to, what Lloyd said in the TSI chat yesterday, there's a reason why Stadia went with the with Vulkan and with the Linux model, because it helps reduce latency. We don't know how these are going to play. So if it's 100 games of BS and crap, what does it matter? With all that being said, Storm, I now turn it over to you because I want to pick over your brain.
Yeah, man. Well, we were looking at that game library, man, and it, some of those games are definitely appealing, right? Some people ask the question, what games are in it? A few people I know, said, what games are in it for me, man? I'm just seeing Resident Evil 7. Well, they came out, I think they announced that after the initial screen that we saw from the site or whatever. But Ubisoft, yes, we got to see how that irons out. And here's the thing that we had to keep in mind, man, because A Plague Tale: Innocent, games like that are great games, right? But yeah, we didn't see the Call of Duties and all that, the 2Ks and the Maddens and stuff like that on there, did we? So they're still working behind the scenes, just like Stadia was doing, or Stadia are doing right now. You know what I'm saying? So again, MM is real funny, man, because some of the things that that Amazon is putting out here, people criticize Stadia for, man, about not going hard enough and not getting the biggest bangers and stuff. Like, I don't see Cyberpunk on there just yet.
Yeah.
I'm sure Amazon is trying to work out something. If I'm Amazon, I'm trying to work out something to get Cyberpunk and other big AAA titles on my platform. It's officially a platform now, right? It'll be a platform when it launches, right?
Yeah, it'll be a platform.
So now we'll have 2 official platforms. Okay. So yeah, I don't get hype about it. Because I haven't played it yet. I haven't held that controller in my hand. You know what I'm saying? As Xbox controller knockoff-ish as it looks, a lot of people are saying it looks like the Nintendo Switch Pro controller. Some people, but I see the Xbox controller with the button scheme, the button, the layout, the LB, the RB, the right trigger, all that stuff with the face buttons looking the same and all that. It kind of like, it's more attuned to Xbox to me. Yeah. But I just need to see it running, man, because GeForce Now is doing 1080p and it's not always a great connection for me. The connection drops sometimes. I can't thoroughly enjoy GeForce Now for more than an hour without some type of issue. That's facts. I have video content on my channel proving that with the Hyperscape. So Shadow and Shadow PC, the thing about it is it's a dope service. I love it, the performance of it and all that stuff. You can play Stadia through Shadow PC and GeForce Now. You can play GeForce Now through Shadow because all it is a remote PC in the cloud. But it has updates and audio issues sometimes and things like that. Now Stadia is not perfect. Let me say that right now. It is not 100% perfect. Things happen. You know what I'm saying? But MM2K, it is the best. Cloud gaming.
Well, nobody's perfect
or whatever right now. It is the best though, MM2K, because it's out right now. We've had it for over 10 months, right?
Yep.
We had it since November 19th. And it keeps on wowing people that I know. You keep seeing more and more people talking about the whole fascination of Stadia. It's magical. It's like sorcery. It's wizardry and all this stuff, man. It's like mind-blowing. It's crazy. That has to be taken into account, and the fact that Google's a juggernaut doesn't hurt anything either. The fact that they have YouTube at its disposal to rival Twitch, you know what I'm saying? I don't know the number MM2K, but maybe you could help me later on at some point about the number of YouTube traffic every day or every month. Do you have anything like that? I know you have a whole box, a treasure chest of secret notes and stuff like that, man. But if you could help me out with that at some point before the show is over, because I keep saying that Stadia can link up and just hit that button, man, with YouTube, and they can advertise and all that stuff, and it'll be crazy, man, how many people they can reach overnight. So I don't know, y'all. Amazon Luna is definitely something, I've already signed up to be an early adopter or whatever. I will give you a live report as soon as it's active. I do like the fact that unlike Xcloud, I will be able to bring it to you all straight from my PC, I think, right? Like it'll be PC compatible from the gate with Chrome and all that stuff, I think. So yeah, that'll be dope. So I will look out for some content as soon as I get access to that, y'all. With that being said, man, Luna has some work to do. That's the
it has some work to do and look, here's the thing, man. I don't want what I've been saying to be misconstrued, because I have said that Luna is a threat to everybody, and a threat doesn't necessarily mean it's going to do damage. It's a threat to everybody. But I have backed up off of my original thoughts of the Lion in the Serengeti. I know me and Chase used to joke around about that. I backed up off of that for the simple fact that I was going off the notion of when Stadia entered the game, they were looking to uproot the game and change it in totality. And I thought, okay, this is Google's version of uprooting the game. How is Amazon going to uproot the game? And this right here, even if it does work well, doesn't look like it's going to uproot the game. It just looks like it's going to drive gamers under the current content to drive more of them to Amazon. That's not uprooting the game. So that's why I called them the Lion in the Serengeti, because if you're going to be a lion in the Serengeti, that means that you are going to suck up the bandwidth from all of your competitors. And if you have Google that's doing something different from everybody, just because you're able to get more gamers, suck up the oxygen from PlayStation, because you got more games possibly that it can be played in more places. You could suck it up from Xbox, because even though they got Bethesda under their wing, if a gamer's bandwidth is caught up in the Activision channels and all that other stuff, just because you got that going on, but Google is looking to change how game development happens altogether, and they're giving you experiences that you can't get anywhere else, then that doesn't suck up the oxygen from Google. So they're not the lion in the Serengeti at the moment, unless they show us more that the way that I thought they were going to be. What they are is a potential threat, because let's be honest about it. If they have a low entry to volume gaming, meaning if these channels, if the Ubisoft channel is $8.99, $9.99 for 50 games, if the Activision channel is $8.99, $9.99 long term for a whole bunch of Activision experiences, that's going to suck up a lot of bandwidth. And then let's just say you got a THQ channel, a Square Enix channel. I think Eddie had brought up, what if there was an RPG channel? And these channels are cost efficient, and they're very low in price. Then yeah, that's going to suck up the oxygen from the other platforms that also have high volume, right? Another plus for Luna is it's reach to the hardcore with the TV saturation. We talked about it. Right now, they have 40 million Fire TV dongles, and there's going to be 70 million projected by 2025, I think it is. That's going to speak to the hardcore that right now majority have consoles and majority of them play on TVs. That's going to suck up bandwidth from them. And then we also got to be honest about marketing. Amazon are marketing geniuses. We got to give that to them. We got to give them credit on that, right? But here's where Stadia, despite, even if Amazon is hitting on all four cylinders, if Stadia does what they have to do and they do it fluidly, why, they're going to be fine. Number one, the tech. The tech, again, is not just tech to make things faster and run prettier. It is, they are providing you tech that is going to change the way games are developed altogether. Projekt Chimera and the likes. You got to watch Aaron Hoffman John's speech on all that stuff and the development stack that they put out there. Also, Stadia's ability to drastically change that game design through Chimera, they said that you can have massive worlds built by 5 people. So all you do is you go into like a database, type in the type of game you want, put in some visual concepts, and boom, you got this multi. I can't even talk right.
Get it right now.
You have this massive multiple player world that can just be critiqued and tweaked by 4 or 5 people. That's insane. That's going to change game development. That's not what Amazon is aiming for. And last but not least, let me do this. I'm going to put Storm asked for it. Let me do the damn thing, God damn it. Let me do the damn thing.
All right.
Let me do the damn thing.
Real quick, man. The chat, hey, I'm telling you right now, this chat has been rolling, man. There's so much quality out here that I don't even know what to tell you to throw up, man, or what I even want to touch on. They're saying some things, man. Let's see. I know something stood out, man. It's so much. I don't even know where the hell to start. Let's see. Okay, Soundwave said, by the time Stadia and Luna catch the attention of the hardcore gamer, price will be around $15 to $20 a month.
That's a possibility with Luna. I think they're doing an interest. My suspicion is, Storm, and you give your thoughts on this too. I'm interested in what you think. I suspect that Luna base price is going to be $15 to $20. I think Stadia Pro stays around $10. What do you think?
I think it does, because I think Stadia, by them being out so long now, they have been gauging a lot of things. You all talk about the data collection phase and all that stuff for the first year and all that. So I think they know that price point is going to be appealing. I think that they know that Microsoft is already at $14.99 with their bundle, how they have everything bundled in. Now, if they add, man, I can't even begin to speculate what they're going to do with the Orion side of things and all that, how they're going to implement that into Xcloud or whatever, if they're going to choose to do that or go with a separate model. I don't have a clue, bro. It's too early to tell. But I know that speaking on that though, Cam Bond Williams right here. Cam Williams said if Orion improves xCloud's tech, if Orion improves xCloud's tech, MS could have a serious contender on his hands. And see, right there, we're thinking along the same line. Yeah, they and what that will do is add now a third big time corporation into the mix, into the cloud gaming space. It's only going to be beneficial, man.
Here's the thing, and this is where I think we kind of failed a little bit. And again, I'm not trying to be mean. I don't want to. I think we failed in totality as a community. Speaking about Orion, not Orion, because when we talk, we're given the illusion that Orion is going to be sole proprietary tool only used by xCloud. It's going to look. They're going to boot. We'll talk about this in the next segment. But Orion is a tool that's going to be used by everybody to boost up their cloud. It's just something. It's like think of WinZip. Think of WinZip. You know what WinZip does? WinZip condenses your files and makes it take up less storage. It's just going to take whatever bloated process that is there on that cloud platform and make it run will make it run a lot smoother. So it's going to improve everything for everybody. But here's what is not being taken into consideration. If it improves xCloud from being maybe a 2-star service to a 3-star service, then it's going to improve Stadia from being a 4-star service to a 5-star service. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's just it's an efficiency tool, and we haven't done the proper job of explaining this. So what I urge everybody to do is go to look up Orion and sign up for it and get the information and better understand how it's going to be used. It's not something proprietary that's going to just boost up xCloud. It's going to boost up everybody, and it's going to boost up everybody to take them a few notches up from where they're at, basically. So
I hope that's the case because I know Orion, from what I heard, it was capable of doing native 4K 60 gaming.
Yeah,
while being streamed or whatever. So you're saying that Microsoft has a weapon or Xbox has a weapon like that they're gonna be willing to let everybody just use that?
Let me here's the thing, bro. Who made this deal? We got to remember. We can get into this a little bit.
Okay.
Who made this deal? Who signed that check? Was it Satya Nadella or was it Phil Spencer? Who signed that check?
Phil.
That was Satya.
It wasn't.
That was Satya.
Yeah, because the name, of course, the name. Yeah,
Satya's the CEO.
It still has something to do with it being in motion, I'm sure.
Yeah, he definitely did because they have the cordial relationship. But who signed the check? Who made the deal happen for Minecraft? Was it Phil or Satya?
That was Nadella.
That was Satya. Who made the deal for Havoc? Satya. All these big moves happened because of Satya. Why? Because Satya saw something that he could globally market and license to everybody. That's why he did that. And everything that he signed is still used globally. He signed Minecraft. That's everywhere. He signed Havoc. That's everywhere. He signed Bethesda. This is why he bought ZeniMax Online and didn't just buy out Bethesda. He wants ZeniMax Online to run in tandem with Xbox and still distribute their tools everywhere to make money. They didn't pay 7.5. Look, listen to that. 7.5 billion to be exclusive and make less money? No, Satya wants to make as much money as possible, and he's going to do that by putting these tools and stuff everywhere. It's just the thing is that what they are going to do is it's going to make xCloud and Xbox look more appealing. So where if you want to go with them instead, you can now go to Game Pass and not pay that $60 up front.
So just like with Azure, the Azure servers and technology,
exactly.
Sony bought into or whatever they did. They can do the same thing with this, and it'll make cloud gaming that much better for everybody, man.
Y'all need to look. When I say y'all, I mean not you.
Wow.
People need to study Satya Nadella. Satya Nadella is all about that Silicon Valley mind state when it comes to marketing and licensing products and services. He don't care about no console war. Look, I love Tim Dog, but he don't care Tim Dog is out there. Xbox is he don't care about that. What he cares about is I invested $7.5 billion into this company. How can we utilize that $7.5 billion? And by them making stuff exclusive to Xbox, that puts guardrails around the money that they can make. They can still make Xbox successful and still put it elsewhere. You give people the option that say, you know what, I just can't get down with Xbox, but I will buy, Bethesda games, and they're going to get them on PC or wherever via Steam. And then the people that say, you know what, I can get down with Xbox, it's available there. They want to put their products and services everywhere where they can, where it makes sense. For some of their exclusive titles, it doesn't make sense. But for what ZeniMax Online is doing, it makes sense to make this available everywhere and license it out, because that's how they're going to maximize their investment into ZeniMax, period.
Now, real quick, Kevin Rogers came in and said something that I said before the show. I was touching on this before the show, right? In the pregame. Microsoft bought ZeniMax to catch up to Google. Yes, the games help, but that was the main reason. Now, my thought was right in line with his. So I'm so happy when I'm not the only one to realize I'm not the only one to be thinking the way I think, man. Like we were talking about was any moves done as a reactionary move or a counter move to what Google had already done, because Google was first on the scene when it came to the major players. So we'll touch on that next segment, like you always say.
Yeah, but we'll touch up on that. But here's what I want to do first before we get off the Luna talk. And Ralph once again makes a great point. He says this is the perfect timing for Stadia to lock in Uplay Plus. I do agree with that. I do think that even though their vision is more long term, I don't think it hurts Stadia to go and buy out Ubisoft and do it in a way that ZeniMax Online was bought by Microsoft, and have them just put their stuff everywhere. Still have them do it. In 5 or 6, 7 years from now, when the infrastructure is ready, then you start thinking of exclusive content. Hey, y'all all will get access to Far Cry 7 and 8, but it's coming to Stadia first. You know what I'm saying? It's coming to Stadia first for the first 120 days. Then it'll release everywhere else later. They can do that years down the line. But I do think that Stadia should make a play, or Google, ABC company should make a play, buy one of these studios, and have them run independently, let them do their thing. And so until Stadia's ready, and then when Stadia's ready, then you can start coming up with exclusive content. But here's the last thing I want to show, Storm, before we move on to the next subject. People are talking about, oh man, Amazon's going to throw Stadia out the window, man. They're going to grab them by the shirt and sleeve like Uncle Phil did Jazzy Jeff from Fresh Prince, and they're going to throw them off the porch with this one. Look, man, there's 40 million Fire TVs out there, man. There's 40 million dongles out there. And then there's 15 million people on Twitch, man. Can you imagine that saturation? Man, it's crazy. I want to show you something. Boom!
Is this all in 2020 as the first question?
This is all 2020. 15 million as of June 10th, 2020. It was also surmised in June. I mean, not in June, but in 2020, there's 40 million Fire dongles out there, right? Boom! August 13th, 2020. 1.3 billion users of YouTube. So even though there's a bunch of dongles out there, there's a bunch of Twitch users, Storm.
Yeah.
How does that Jazzy Jeff Google, who has the power of YouTube,
I keep telling, man, I'm sorry, bro. I keep telling people about this power of YouTube. Go ahead, continue, man. I don't cut people off.
I just want to say this. I'm going to pass it over to you because I'm going to have to calm down. Can you imagine that power of that 1.3 billion watching a Marvel movie or watching, a basketball game on YouTube, whatever, a highlight, and say, "Ooh, by the way, you can play basketball."
Yeah, here's NBA 2K22,
bruh,
or 21, or whatever.
Bruh, try
it out right now with the push of the button, click and play.
How does the 40 million dongles and 15 million Twitch users Jazzy Jeff this. I'm not saying that it's not going to be effective. Yes, Luna's going to be effective with his 40 million dongles, right? It's going to be effective. I'm not saying that. And it's going to capture the hardcore. I've sent this in a solo video that I did. What this is going to do is at first capture the heart and minds of the hardcore that want to play a whole bunch of games all of a sudden that normally play them on console. If you tell them, for a reasonable price, I can get all the Activision content or the Ubisoft content for a reasonable price. Those console gamers that play on TV, this is going to affect them heavily. But YouTube, but Google is aiming higher. 1.3 billion. Anything that you're watching, hey, look, you're watching this video on Cake, but how about you play Cake Bash? You know what I'm saying? You can play Cake Bash right now. Like before we bloviate and we overextend the potential of other things over Stadia, we got to do counter research. And I think a lot of us aren't doing counter research when we say these things. We cannot understate the power that YouTube 1.3 billion viewers is going to have. And Stadia knows that. That's why they chilling. That's why they chilling in the cut. I digress. Go ahead, Storm. I got to calm down. I'm sorry.
Trizza said something important. He said that that's not all gamers, right? But they did have some pretty big numbers when they did put the gaming data out there. Those statistics, you know what I'm saying? They put those stats out there about how much gaming traffic is on the platform, and it's still crazy, mind bending.
And Trizza,
or whatever.
Those 40 million dongles that everybody's talking about, those aren't for all gamers too, right? Right. We're just talking about market-wise, market saturation. That's all I'm saying.
Potential reach and all that.
You know potential reach.
Google right now is playing T-ball, man. They're playing T-ball. They knew their competitors were going to be watching closely. They knew that they heard the buzz about Amazon, the Cub and the Serengeti. In Serengeti, I meant. See, now you got me messing my words up now because you get me hype on something that I've been talking about. I get passionate about it, man. Now, people. Yes, Amazon has Twitch. I know a lot of people are going to say that. We have to be ready for that counter MM2K all the time because people are going to throw out their Twitch is kicking ass, man. The numbers improve all the time. Each year, the percentages increase, right? When it comes to Twitch and all that, all their statistics and stuff. Mm-hmm. But YouTube is not staying stagnant either. You know what I mean? Like, they're making moves at any given time. How can you bet against Google? Just like how can you bet against Amazon? How can you bet against Google, who's out here doing this already? Who's out here with Google, with the search engine and all this stuff? And I know AWS is huge, man. Don't get me wrong. But Google's out here doing things too. They're in the lab right now. They brought us Stadia first. And if Amazon was ready, you think they wouldn't have beat Stadia to the market, MM2K? Mm-hmm. If Xcloud was ready, you think they wouldn't have beaten Google to this market? So now Google's sitting back like, yeah, let's see what they're doing. Oh, they just made this splash, right? Well, watch this right here. Let's flip this button over here, button EF. All right. EF right now. And then they're going to come out here and announce some stuff like YouTube integration. We told y'all was capable of doing 4K 60 and all this. Live streaming and all that, man. It's just so many things that we talk about so much, man. We don't have to go into too much depth with that. But just remember, we're talking about Google and YouTube, Google and Stadia.
Here's what we got to remember, y'all. Here's what we got to remember. Because and I don't want to move the goalposts. I don't want us to say in one session, yeah, Amazon got 40 million dongles out there. That's going to be powerful, man. Yeah, that's going to be powerful. I don't know what Stadia is going to do on that. And then we see the 1.3 billion and we're like, well, those aren't all gamers though, MM2K. No, it's not about everybody that is potentially could invest in your platform doesn't have to be a gamer. Again, if I'm a middle-aged mother in the US and I'm sitting there watching these cake videos and I see Cake Bash on and I'm like, oh, I would like to play that. Or I see stacks on stacks on stacks. Oh, that ain't bad. I'll give that a shot. Here, let me click this button and play that. Especially if I'm watching a YouTube video in the doctor's office and I'm waiting, you know what I'm saying? And then all that, and then I automatically sign up for Stadia and I buy it. It's $3.99 on whatever the case may be. There you go. You got another active user. And you got 1.3 billion chances at that. where Amazon has 55 million. 40 dongles out there, 15 million people on what's it called? On Twitch. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, hey, MM. What Amazon is doing right now is ducking the haymaker, man. They're ducking the haymaker from Google because Google's already out here. They know they got their feet wet in the game. They know they've been collecting this data and everything. They know what they need to be doing next. They know what the roadmap looked like. We don't know that roadmap, y'all. We will never know the roadmap unless they just put it out there, unless they're nice enough. But believe me, they will still have stuff on deck that we will never know about. So because of their competitors or whatever. And we saw what Amazon just did with Luna, y'all. They just sat down, they copied and pasted, they got their notepad, you know what I mean? They went to their own whiteboard and they said, oh, Stadia's doing this? Well, let's do this. How can we do this, engineers? How can we make this happen right now? Like ASAP, because we can't get too far behind. Mm-hmm. I'm predicting that that's what's going on back there. I don't have to be a genius. I don't have to be in those discussions and meetings and stuff, but it makes common sense to me, so I put it out there. Now, yes, Soundwave said that they have can't forget about Facebook and Instagram. There will be Xcloud, Luna, and Stadia links all through those social media pages. Yeah, so all of them are going to be playing ball together. But the thing is that Google's out here and they're dusting off the dust right now, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? They've out there, they got their feet wet. They tasted a little bit of blood out here in the arena, so they know what they need to tweak on and how to make everything better. And they've set the stage to be able to do everything first. Amazon right now in the situation, now we have to do things better than Stadia. That has to be their goal. Reach more users, put more, give these users access to all these Fire Sticks that MM2K keeps talking about and all these different things, and make sure that Twitch is ready for the integration so that all these Twitch players can just easily jump into a game just like Stadia. And now we're going to have crowd choice and crowd play and all this stuff just like Stadia. And then now we're going to go ahead and do all this stuff just like Stadia.
I want to show one more thing because Trezza, you lightened it up in the chat, brother. I appreciate everything that you're saying, and everything that you're saying is spot on, and it's a great point. So he says, hold on, MMT. He basically says, hold on, MM2K. We should remember that Amazon. No, he says, but if you should bring up Amazon's reach through Prime and the number of people that they touch globally every day. Yeah, so let's do that. There's 150 million Prime subscribers. So yes, you add the 150 million to the 40 million dongles and the 50. So what is that? That's like over 205 million. Still doesn't touch the 1.3 billion. But on top of that, let's talk about how many Gmail users there are. And if you saw, the documentary, The Social Dilemma, people are addicted to their Gmail accounts. So they frequent Gmail like how some of us watching frequent Twitter. That's what, as of 2018, we don't know where it's at right now. As of 2018, there's 1.5 billion active users. And all of those 1.5 billion ain't here because you can watch YouTube without having a Gmail account, right? You ain't got to have a Gmail account to watch YouTube. Do you understand what I'm saying, Trizza? So again, what Google is doing is they're looking at their potential reach. And like Storm, I couldn't put it no perfectly, Storm, no better. They're playing T-ball. They're like, y'all do what y'all gonna do.
T-ball right now, knowing that the Wolves and the Lions and the Cubs and everybody is out there taking notes. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. The question for this consumer though is, are you cool with watching them play T-ball, or do you want them to do the full-fledged competition 18 right now? If you ain't someone like me or Storm, that's cool with them playing T-ball, talking with them, enjoying the amenities, the free Coors Light, and the nice lawn chairs and the great setup that they have. If that's not enough for you, then I'm not arguing with you about that. I can't tell. Your opinion is never wrong. But what I'm saying to you guys is that the reason why they're playing T-ball is specifically what you're seeing on the screen. 1.3 billion YouTube people.
I mean, that's nothing to scoff at. You can't sleep on that.
You can't sleep on that.
You can't sleep on that because, and see, just like with crowd play, when people were talking like all that fuss happened about crowd play, you know what I'm saying? Why would they do this? Why would they give this to these people when I don't understand why crowd play is not more of an emphasis for Stadia right now and all that. But they just showed us that they could test that. and they could reach a broader audience like really fast if they want to, man. Like, see, MM2K, you just said something crazy, man. You said that the search engine, Gmail, and all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know how on Valentine's Day you might see on the Google's website or whatever, you'll see a heart and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what if they wanted to just, man, that's another switch they can hit and put Stadia controller on that thing. You know what I'm saying? Stadia Day, their Stadia anniversary, something like that. Anything, if they wanted to, all they need is the ideas. All they need is to hear Projekt Storm and MM running out of mouth sometimes, and everybody else out here that tries to throw out things that make sense. And they could probably do that, I'm sure, kind of easily. I don't know, man. And yes, everybody, all the other companies can do it too. They could do it, but they just don't have the reach, the same reach as YouTube, man. The traffic on YouTube for YouTube gaming is crazy every day, man.
Look, what people got to remember is Jack Buser told you himself, this is not, it's not that it's lacking transparency. It lacked it being broadcast enough, but he said this first in 2019, and then he said it on IGN, the world's #1 source for gaming news. So we can't run with the model that they hid this. That's like me throwing a stone in the ocean to keep it from getting wet. You don't go on IGN to hide anything. So with the combo of IGN and what they've said before in the past, it's more than evident. They playing T-ball right now. They're building the infrastructure to be the best infrastructure in gaming, period, bar none. Not just console gaming or cloud, bar none.
Yeah, man.
He said it in 2019, in March of 2019. Look, people are going to come to the platform the first year. A lot of them will like what we're doing. A lot will not. But the people that do not in that first year will come back 3 years later and say, wow, this thing is a lot better than what I thought it was. So that's telling you right there that they're building this platform using data collection and all that stuff for 3 years.
Will Luna drop in? How many territories will this thing drop in?
It's going to drop in the U.S., but who knows after that? Who knows? But that's what I'm saying.
But at launch, you're saying at launch, though, it's the U.S. only,
it's just
right?
U.S. only at launch. Yeah.
So they're playing catch up, right?
They're playing look, and this is a data collection phase for them too. All these cloud infrastructures, they got to come out. And we say data collection phase, Storm, people got to understand that data collection means how do we get our platform to be a 1v1 match to what gamers experience now with consoles. That's their ultimate goal in the data collection phase. Not to collect data on surveys.
I hear we need to get Trizza on here, man. Trizza's gonna have to call in.
Trizza, you want? Hey, look,
off now,
yeah,
man.
I know.
That's
hey, look,
right there.
Hey, Trizza
knows how we do, man. Trizza knows how we do. We got to educate the people, man. We got to inform the people.
Look, man, it ain't a money grab. All it takes is $3. You can be in the Stadia chat, a war room chat like the homie Victor, and we'll be inclined, we'll be obliged when we have to read every single comment, bro. That's the way it works.
I'm gonna see if I can talk him into a 24-hour pass or something.
24 hours
for the holidays or something. For the holidays, just for y'all, man. Because I do want Trizza. You know, Trizza's the homie, y'all. Don't get it twisted. Everybody watching.
Trizza's definitely. No, we love his comments.
That's the homie. That's the brother.
I just want people to understand that you got to make a decision. And because it's not a product is not for you at the time, doesn't mean that it's going to fail. It just may not be for you. Jack Buser said it. He said, you got to give this thing up to 3 years. He said it. We're putting it out here now to collect data, to make it better, to make it on par, if not better, than an experience you can get elsewhere. And once we get there, we're flying. And if that's too long of a proposal for you, then you got to say, look, man, I don't want to watch y'all play T-ball go elsewhere. But for those of us that know the potential growth, that like what we're getting right now, and we're cool chilling with them playing T-ball right now because that the atmospherics of it is so much better than where it is anywhere else, then come on over to Stadia. For those of you that ain't, you might want to look elsewhere. So that's pretty. I think we covered pretty much everything we wanted to cover. Storm.
Yep.
Now we're going to give it to y'all for the next few moments. As far as questions or if Storm catches anything in the chat, yappas.
Man,
don't forget
this chat here is, man, I'm gonna need some help. I need Cortana, somebody. Hey, Cortana, somebody, Alexa, somebody, Bixby, help me out, man. I can't read all this. It says in that Google. Raph says in that Google is a year on the testing. Yes, Amazon and Microsoft can come and steal data, but the real world tests make you the leader in info.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So the real world test, and that's what I keep going by. I keep going by this beautiful Founders Edition Midnight Blue controller that I have in my hands, y'all. And when I sync that to the data centers and everything, and I play these games at 4K, at up to 4K, and then when I stream on YouTube at 4K resolution or whatever, with a little bit of compression and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? I keep it real, I keep it thugging. And then I go and watch my streams on YouTube at 4K again in 1 or 2 windows, one for the chat and one just for the hell of it, just to try to stress test Stadia, y'all. Mm-hmm. Stadia always win. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking about. So people keep saying they downplay the technology, MM2K and Ralph. Mm-hmm. They downplay the technology like it's not out here working already versus some numbers on a paper and some pictures, some pretty pictures of games, pictures, announcements. Anybody can make announcements. We know that, y'all. We criticize Stadia for it, some of us. You know what I mean? It's not about announcements. Get on. We need games. Get on it, Stadia. What are you doing? Amazon's just coming. They're brand new to the game. Now look what they're doing. And they ain't did a damn thing yet but make some noise in writing.
Yep.
So anyway, man, moving on up. Let's go. Roger, wow, 5 billion videos watched daily on YouTube. Wow.
Come on, bro. That's what. Come on, bro. Like, what is we doing out here?
Let me do a Cosmic Strictly Skills Cab rewind. You know what I'm saying? Philadelphia in the building. Shout out to Philly. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Philly, man.
I'm not from Philly, but I'm close enough, y'all. Wow, 5 billion videos watched daily on YouTube.
Come on, man. What is we doing, man?
Wow.
What is we doing? And again, I'm not saying
now, even if you have a crafting channel, a automotive channel, or whatever, man. If Google wanted to drop a Stadia advertisement right out there, they could do that, man. They could do that, and they could send out that the survey and everything. Like, hey, are you a gamer? Yes or no? Would you try Stadia? Yes or no? They could do all this, and so could Amazon, MM2K. But we're talking about reach now.
We're talking about reach. We got to get out of this mind state that gaming is solely for those of us that sit up in a man cave, and we got to get all. People game everywhere at an instant now, just like how they watch videos in an instant now. Gaming is not looked at as the albatross that it used to be. It's just entertainment. They don't even look at it that way anymore. So again, a mother that normally that don't play Call of Duty, she might like Cake Bash. She might like Stacks on Stacks.
Right.
She might like Ember or something like that. That might be right up her alley. And all the more why it's important for the Stadia Makers program to be there and y'all not be as vile as y'all was when it was announced. Because again, when that 1.3 billion is tapped, that home mom or the home dad or the soccer dad that normally don't play games on a regular basis that might want to interact with that and tap the screen might want to do it. PGA 2K12.
Don't you forget
21?
Don't you forget the grandparents, because a lot of grandparents are playing these games too now. They could easily click. Hey, grandma, all you have to do is just click this button, click to play, and that's cool on Luna or Stadia or whatever the case is, man. Like cloud gaming is the truth. It's the future.
I'm not saying. Look, I'm not. My argument, guys, is not because Stadia got 1.3 billion in its cusp because of YouTube. Luna is going to fail. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is y'all got to stop with this stuff that because Luna got 40 million dongles out there, you know what I'm saying? That Stadia is failing. I'm saying the reverse.
And because of Twitch, all right, here's the deal. Stadia should be a clear example if we want to look at it like that, y'all. It should be a clear example, a measuring stick of how many gamers might flock to Amazon's Luna. Yeah, Luna, whatever the hell it is, Luna. They might not flock right away to that. They might not even give a damn. They might care more about the Series X and the PS5 or the RTX 3080 or 3090 cards or something like that. I don't know who know the next Nintendo. I don't know. But the thing is that Stadia is here, y'all. Yeah. So it's already making waves. And that's what, I'm sorry. That's what I like to throw out there, man.
I want to say this too, and I'm going to pull the scab off of this. And this is because we keep it real here, man. We keep it jiggy here, as I say. Look, y'all got to be honest with yourselves. Y'all got to. I'm going back to the 80s. You got to look at the man in the mirror.
You hit him with the MJ. No Cindy.
I hit him with the MJ.
What about no Cindy Lauper?
No Cindy today. Right. They got to look at the man in the mirror. We got to be honest with its offerings, with its lineup, and all that other stuff. And I'm going to point to the homie Cold Blood Sensei. I think he hits on something. Let's say if Stadia never existed and the Luna announcement still came out, would y'all still be this excited about Luna? And I'm going to say no. You want to know why I'm saying no? Because everything cloud gaming related is pivoted off of how is it contrast against Stadia? Is it going to kill Stadia? How much better is it because of Stadia? Because of the albatross that Stadia has around its neck in the hardcore community. But if you look at the details that you were given, opposite, let's just say if Stadia never existed, would y'all still be equally excited? And the answer I dare to say is no. Because of the number one, the lack of information, and two, because of the offerings. I mean, it's great that they're going to have an Ubisoft channel, but there's Uplay Plus already out there. We don't know the price of this channel, and also we don't know the performance. But because there's something out there in contrast to Stadia, that's why it blew up. That's why, as Bippity announced earlier, Stadia went up. Why did Stadia went up? Because the first thing everybody want to do whenever there's a cloud gaming solution out there is compared to Stadia, and that's what got the talk real big. Is how does it relate to Stadia? But if it wasn't for Stadia, it would not have the hype that it has. Period. I'm sorry. The proof is in the fact that Stadia, boom, GFN didn't go up, Shadow didn't go up, Stadia went up. Why? Because everybody wants either everybody wants Stadia to drop 1,000 games now, or they want Stadia to die. And when Stadia does neither one of those, when something else comes out, it helps bolster their argument. See,
why are people putting that much emphasis on and all that energy into Stadia and talking about and wishing that it fails? MM2K, do you have any thoughts on that? Look, okay, I'll tell you one.
Go ahead, bro.
Because Stadia is a threat. It's that simple. Yeah. It's a threat.
That's part of it.
That's, you know what I mean? Google has the infrastructure in place. They had the monetary resources and all that stuff to combat the competitors. And I'm telling you, because let Stadia have been Xcloud, it would have been a great song would have been playing. Beautiful music, sounding like coming from the angels, y'all. Oh, look at this! Now we can play our all of our exclusive games over here. Let it have gone to PS Now. You think that the ponies wouldn't have been happy, man? It would have been, boy. Hey, look, man. So y'all get the picture right now, right? It's because Stadia came out and it works. Because people don't have a reason to hate. Yeah. Google's killed some things off, according to some people, but they've also reimagined those things and integrated those things in different ways and stuff like that. So you got, man, come on, people. Let's deal with the facts out here.
Look, here's what it is. Would you address Storm? And we can wrap up after you give your thoughts on this. But what you address, Storm, talks to the people outside, the young yays. But the second part of your question is why the people inside, when every time something else is announced, it's Stadia's in trouble. Not that, the competition's heating up now, and this is great for cloud gaming. That's not the message. The message is Stadia's in trouble. Why is that happening from the inside? Because again, people want Stadia to drop with 1,000 games tomorrow because they love the platform. They're emotionally depressed because it ain't. And I'm not trying to be, they're upset. And because they're upset because Stadia ain't doing what they want to, instead of them just saying, you know what, it's not for me right now, they want to put a cloud over the platform and say, because you're not giving me what I want right now, then you're doomed. You're going to be, look at it. Hachitachi 2000 came up with a cloud service. You're doomed. And we got to stop that. Man. We got to stop that.
Absolutely. When all Stadia is trying to do is give us a cloud gaming experience like we've never seen before. That's all they're trying to do. And I remember just told y'all earlier, it's not for everybody. It don't have to be for everybody. We're not out here trying to promote Stadia in any way. We're just calling out the facts.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? We're on the platform. We're enjoying it. People hate it. They hate it. They don't have to like everything. But that's it for me, man. That's all I had to say right there. And I think we can go ahead and come to a conclusion, man, because this right here, we knew it was going to be a little bit heated.
Yeah.
We knew it was going to get lit at times. Shout out to everybody, Trizza Rect and everybody in the chat.
Shout out to Trizza.
Take it away.
Hey, man. Shout out to Trizza. And again, my job is not to make you believe anything. My job is to make sure that we're all putting all the information out there. And what I'm seeing a lot of, Storm, is I'm seeing a lot of Entity B does this. Entity
is lopsided.
Yeah, Entity B is doing this. Oh man, look at this. And they're not doing, and nobody's doing due diligence to see if Stadia has an equivalent. And to me, that's lopsided, and to me, that's misleading to the unsuspecting gamer. And y'all know that's my thing. It's like, let's put all the information out there and evaluate from that. So if you see something from Party B, let's see if there's an equivalent. Let's match everything. If you want to talk about Amazon's 40 million dongles, let's talk about YouTube's 1.3 billion. You know what I'm saying?
Let's talk about these Chromecast Ultra devices out here.
Yeah, let's talk about all that. Let's put it all on the table, and then we can better understand why to Stadia. And I like that. I'm stealing that from Storm, especially if you're gonna fire my ass. Why Stadia is playing T-ball right now. Now we can understand better why they're doing it.
Hey, well, it's all right, man. Now I'm gonna let you borrow this, but you got to let Ralph borrow this right here.
Go ahead,
Hachitachi 2000.
You
gotta let him borrow that.
He said, I'm stealing that one. Yeah, let's do that. We got a co-op going on around here, man. But with that said, man, golly, man, we got up to like, I think 49. Almost 50, man. Yeah, almost 50. Yeah, and you know, and look, y'all call in. And two, if you don't want to call in, I get it. Just, you know, do the platform a huge favor. It's only $3 a month, and then that gives you special access to all of our. We'll do this for SSC podcast and everything. You know what I'm saying? Stadia related and on some. Join the Stadia War Room. It's only $3 a month. In order to join the War Room, and then what that does is when you have comments in the War Room, we read them. We'll read them live on air, man. But there you go. That's how you join the Stadia War Room. It's $3 a month through the PNTS Patreon. But thank y'all so much for y'all participation, man. Y'all did it great. Y'all did a hell of a job, man. And next week, Storm, can you do us a huge favor?
And guess what? The show is still saying unlisted for me, bro.
It is?
With that, yeah. So we got those numbers now. I'm watching right now, unless I need to refresh or whatever.
Probably refresh, yeah.
Yeah, let me see. Oh, yeah, that's what it was. Okay, it's not showing unlisted.
Do me a favor, Storm. Can you put your channel? I mean, even though your channel's in the description, can you drop a link to your channel? Because that's where the show's going to be next week.
All right, let me see. I don't even have it ready.
That's all right. While you doing that, I just want to.
No, I'm going right here. It only takes a second or two.
Okay.
All right, go ahead and.
Kevin Rogers says Stadia is the benchmark for cloud gaming. Absolutely. Romello Thomas says some people don't play Stadia, then they want to say, "Oh, Stadia is trash." Like, and I'm like, you just hating it. Absolutely. Kevin Rogers, thank you for the like. I appreciate you. Trizza Rector said, hit that like button. Thank you, Trizza. Trizza made it live today, bro.
He made it all live. The way. Him, Victor, and so many others.
Yeah, so many other
people out here, man. It's. I wish I could read the whole damn thing. You know what I mean? But I just dropped that link. Check me out for all types of 4K content.
Absolutely.
I'm stepping my game up. You know, one day I'll be going 8K when that's feasible and everything. I wanted to try to cop that 3090, but I'm afraid it might break my damn motherboard. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not ready for that just yet, y'all. But I do plan to drop more and more 4K content. You never know, MM2K, man, once Xbox and PlayStation comes out here and starts making that noise, and I see, because I'm not going to be against great gaming. You know what I'm saying? I can't do it, bro. I'm going to probably have to jump in, and I might be doing some of that content soon.
Storm, you know what we forgot, but we're out of time. We're going to have to do it another way. And I know just how to do it. Tell you what, I don't know what. In the next few days, Storm and I will get together and we'll talk about this whole Founders, the Founders Hub thing.
Oh yeah.
But it is going to be Stadia War Room content. We have content that's for all of our Patreon members, but we're going to make this exclusive to the Stadia War Room people because it's in relation to Stadia. So definitely that'll be another perk. Hear our discussion on the Founders Hub and what we think about it. Definitely do that, and maybe we'll do something live or something. We'll figure it out. But if you do that, you'll have access to that via the Stadia War Room on the PNTS Patreon. So we'll do that. Any closing thoughts before we leave, Storm?
Nah, man. Hey, y'all. Hey, keep doing you all. Be the consumers that you all want to be. Don't let anybody influence your decision making. All we could do is try to help you out. Keep that in mind. Stay safe and stay positive out here, y'all. Gaming is what we need. Gaming got us through the toughest times right now, y'all. So let's just go ahead and show gaming a little bit more love.
Appreciate all of you. Hey, appreciate all of y'all. Thank y'all so much. Check out.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. And tomorrow,
yes.
Bunny would have got me on this one.
Can you drop a link? Yeah, I'm gonna look for. No, I'll look for it while you talking.
Okay,
go ahead.
So myself and Snow Bunny Gaming, a member of the PNTS network. Some of you may already know her. She's a fantastic individual. We have a show called Ying Meets Yang of Gaming tomorrow at 6 Eastern Time. Feel free to check us out. We cover a variety of topics in gaming. And we get into some stuff like Nintendo and Nintendo Directs and all this other stuff, because I know we don't get Nintendo heavy at times over here because there's so much news at times. But if you're a Nintendo fan or you're a gamer in general, pop by tomorrow at 6 Eastern time.
I just dropped a link to her channel. You definitely want to follow that channel, because we here in the Stadia community, we show love to multiple platforms. That's what I love about this community. We won't be hating. You know, I know I was doing my Xcloud hating, but I calmed down. I stopped it. I got a good psychiatrist now. But
yeah, man.
But if you love other platforms and you want to talk about it, definitely subscribe to Snow Buddy's channel as well as Storm's. All right, so definitely. All right, y'all. I think that covers everything. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Thank you for the people that came through, make this another great SML podcast. Next week we'll also talk about our giveaway. We'll have more information on our next giveaway coming. And again, you want to subscribe to Projekt Storm because this show alternates. It's on my channel one week and it goes to Storm's the next week. So if y'all don't subscribe, y'all won't know when it's going live. So definitely subscribe to Projekt Storm. His link is in the chat. It's also in the description. And with that said, you all have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day. Peace.